Alright. I totally didn't just repost a message with a typo across like 15 different Discord servers. Definitely not. It is Tuesday evening, and we are not doing digital arts, and I also forgot to clean out or replace my rinse water. You know what? It's probably fine. I've definitely worked with worse. So, people, if there are even people, that might just be me. I've never really figured that out. If one viewer is actually one lurker, or if it's just me. But anyway, we are painting Bladeguard Vet. And I just spilled an unnecessary amount of water while trying to fill my wet palette. Yeah, that might just be the owned bot, actually. That might be what that be. What that would be. Alright. So I actually have to put a little bit of Microsol on the tilt plate. And I'm seeing a lag on the preview, and I don't know if that's just me or... Try refreshing it. Oh, I guess just hope for the best, I suppose. In case, let's get some Microsol on that little skull, so it's definitely sealed where we want it. Here's, there it is. Alright, now that can dry. Now, our next step, I think will be black. Yes. And grab some Abaddon black. We're gonna do this guy's belt. You know, I kind of like having a mini here in the background. Just oop. I don't really use. Why did this work before? Oh, because I had it on the. I had it on the dropper. I don't know. Sure. Anyway, grabbing Abaddon black for his belt. What seems like the lowest thing I can paint right now. Subtone, how goes? Time to be quite careful because messing up and hitting the red would be really annoying right now. Hey, Venom. Stream quality a bit iffy today? Is it a bit iffy today? Is the stream weird? Doesn't say I've dropped any frames. And my kilobytes per second are normal. And my bitrate seems fine. Define iffy. Looks good to me. Okay. Maybe a refresh on your end, Tone? Might be a you problem, not a me problem. I mean, to be fair, my my stream preview is pretty. Never mind. My vote class and low set source is fine. Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yeah, I was concerned because my I was concerned for a second there. Because my preview's all messed up again, but sometimes just like that. Let me set my quality to source as well. Oh yeah, I think that fixes it. Or at least it's a lot better. Nope. Didn't actually change. It just jumped it. It jumped it a few frames and stopped again. I don't know. Everything else says it's good. So I'm just gonna be flying blind. So if it starts looking dumb, I am at your mercy. But how are people doing? Welcome back, Venom. Ah, good. New timers are working. Yes, I have done some work on the chat a little bit. I haven't found trackers yet, but I found a bunch of other stuff. We have a crapload of new commands, which I don't remember them all, and I guess we also have the ability to have duels for points. I don't know how it works yet. Doing alright, lunchtime out our way, so I have some time to watch. Sweet. Well, welcome in. I had technically my lunch very recently. Tore apart the remains of a dinosaur. But I mean the bony core carcass of what was a baked chicken. I can't seem to get quite just right in that little gap right there. But yeah, there's a new commands. Got a bunch of new stuff in it. Like a lot of new stuff in it. All the old stuff. I moved over all the old stuff. Son of a... I just popped it off the nail. Yeah. Now, there's so many, you have to go to a page. Because it would not be reasonable to put into the, actual chat. Aggressive painting, yeah. Quite. You know what? I'm gonna pop this back on. And then we're going to take a look at how the base is doing. Maybe we can move forward on the base while this is reattaching. If the base isn't ready, we can work on like one of the other trinkets. Oh, I don't know if it says in there, Venom, or not, if you're actually looking at the list. There are now commands that are mod-specific, and there's also, like, super mods now. I don't know how that part works, but there are super mod-specific commands as well, whatever that means. Yeah, Stream Elements got a lot of stuff going on, and I only just really started using that today, but I've already been able to replace a lot of own 3Ds stuff. A lot of it was kind of ticking me off anyway. Like, I didn't really like the timers, because they were constantly going while I was offline, so when I'm, like, testing stuff in chat or looking at my page doing stuff, it'd be constantly pinging off in chat, and it was just annoying me. So now it's set that it doesn't go while I'm offline, and it only starts going when I'm online after the timers begin after there's so many lines of chat. Like, normal chat. So it's only going to start going off when people are actually in here. I'm probably going to pull back the, well, depending. If my traffic keeps up, then I probably will just leave it as it is, but if it goes back to the way it was before, I might, what do you call it? Lower the times on them slightly? I'm not sure. Okay, I think it's saying there. Yeah, I turned a bunch of them off, too. Like, the default package, Venom, is so many. So many commands. I think this is dry enough. Yes, I think this is dry. I think we can move forward on this. So this is going to be known oiling the texture paint, dry brushing the rocks, and then known oiling the rocks. So yeah, Venom, your first assignment on that is to memorize all those so I can reference you instead of the list. No, I'm joking. I should probably memorize them. I'm also pretty sure it's somewhere. Yeah. It's actually going to be the first round of testing for new mods. Is you have to have all the commands memorized. Man, that would infer we actually had competent mod selection. Or competent mods, even. Actually, do I want to do that before I clean that up? I'm going to clean that up first. Yeah, like I said, all the old stuff works. Yeah, I've always had that. Since I made commands, which I think was immediately. I had the playlist to my YouTube tutorials, which I still haven't made the bone one because I just haven't felt like video editing. Yeah, no. Maybe I should think about having that as part of being a mod, memorizing all of the other commands. Hey, yeah, you said you would. I know I said I would. I'm aware I said I would, but I've been having problems. I was really tired, and then I decided I'm just gonna spend a bunch of my time bursting down this commission and suddenly I felt energized again. So clearly this is what my subconscious wants me to do, and doing anything else just sucks the soul out of me. I think it's something to do with the fact that I've been under the weights of this commission for 2 years. How much more left in the commish? Alright, so this is the Blade Guard Sergeant. When this guy's done, the Blade Guards are done. Yeah, the Blade Guard Ancient, the Chaplain on Bike, 3 Outriders, and Kasarkon. So we've got one more unit of, like, normal dudes. Granted, they are bikers, so, I mean, bikes. And then 4 characters. 3 characters. 3 characters. It's gonna feel good to get it done. Did other commission ever pan out? I haven't heard anything from him since, but he did kind of sound like one of those people who just plans a lot and doesn't actually pull the trigger. I really would like him to, though. But I can't force people to go in on stuff. I'm just kind of left waiting, I guess. He has been in the stream at least once. I know who he is, so he knows where to find me. Where the stones in the base made from? This green stuff, actually. That was actually one of the other tutorials on my list. How dare you, Tone, get so on my case about the tutorials I intended on making and still haven't. I even thought about that. I know you didn't. That's why I'm smiling while this is going on, because it's... No, it's me messing with myself more than anything. No, so I had a... Yeah. It's actually very simple. I clip a interesting looking piece of sprue off. I make a more or less flat bottom on it using a file and cutting in whatever. Glue it to the base, and then I wrap green stuff around it, and then carve it up with a couple modeling tools. I don't know how else to call them, like clay tools, until it looks like rocks. Just mostly just pressing and dragging indents into it in a motion towards the top of the rock until it looks like a rock. And that's basically it. It's pretty unsophisticated, really. I'm going to use basically every tutorial in there. Heat Stain Barrel might be next. Nice. That's only one way of doing a Heat Stain Barrel, by the way. That was just the way that I decided to do it on the Eradicators. Probably Bronze Burn is probably one of the more interesting looking, but a lot harder to pull off, which is why I haven't really done much with it. When I get back to painting my own dudes on my own time, I might do some of that when Meltas pop up again, which I'm sure it will, considering I have 6 more Eradicators to paint at some point, and who knows how many other various Melta weapons. Got multi-Melta on the Redeemer / Crusader. The other way is to hold a lighter over until you get that nice heat stain. I will not be liable for any damages. Yeah, he's got a good point. Now we'll definitely get a heat stain going on. Very realistic. If only realistic for the wrong type of material. I wonder if there's something in painting stuff that heat being applied would help or add to. There's something about heating up paints or mediums or something. I think it's worth creating melted faces on some sort of demon models. I mean, yeah, but you may as well just use green stuff and mash it around at that point. Like Poxwalkers or something. Probably. I mean, to be fair, I've kind of done that in the sense of my rotary tool. It has a bunch of file heads, but it's moving so fast that it more melts the thing out of my way than grinds it down because it's plastic or resin. So, I think breathe the fumes in deeply or lightly when using your lighter tray. Alright, so that can dry now, which will take a solid minute. I'm hoping this is ready to go again. Yeah, it's decently on there again. Alright, where was I? Lee Belt. This chat might come back to bite me if someone gets sick. No comment. I'm going to say it is my policy that we are going to treat you like an adult, and as an adult, you are free to make your own decisions, and with that freedom to make your own decisions is the responsibility for any and all consequences that come out of that decision. There. Which also, nope, it's not on there. I just felt it move. Yep, it did not actually secure on there. God. Twitch terms service might supersede those. I don't think they have that many, actually. Oh, remind me. Not remind me. Reminds me. I found that last switch of Automod. Automod is dead. Long live the Automod. Fumes huffing disclaimer. Dude, I should make a brush licking disclaimer. That says some kind of very legally sounding, basically Tabletop does not recommend the licking of brushes nor drinking of paint water. Basically Tabletop does not, basically Tabletop is not liable for any injuries or medical conditions that may come from licking brushes or drinking paint water. Something like that. Hey Venom, can you add that to the list? For me to do later? Something paint water, got it. Perfect. I actually forgot to replace my paint water, but it's mostly just reddish, so I think it'll be fine. But I'm nowhere near doing the white on this guy, and I might, like I said, I'm probably going to do a lot of the white armor off cam now, just so I can still have the interesting stuff painted on cam, but I can also make progress off cam. A good example of that is that I've been doing the backpacks almost entirely off cam now, for this guy and the last guy, both. Because, I mean, the backpack is, it's really whatever, it's really repetitive, it's pretty rote. Even these are not that interesting. I mean, you got the Iron Halo, but I don't do that much with it. This one will have a little bit of something more exciting about it, but it's pretty quick, and I can just do that when we get there. It's not that big of a deal. But I do have some special plans for this guy's Iron Halo. That's all I'll say. It is very thematically White Scars, though. I'll say that. Oh, I do have to do... You know what? I'm just gonna do all of the tilt plate as one thing later. You know what? Yeah, that's not stuff that needs to be on stream either. Prioritizing. Prioritization is important. You know what else is important and pretty cool? We were at a 5.7 average viewers on this last stream, on this afternoon stream. That is the best by a significant margin yet for the channel. So, hurrah us. Thanks, Tone. What's your local time? Right now, 8:10 p.m. Or I guess that's 2010 p.m. or no, not p.m. Without the p.m. Military time, 2010. You know, sophomore year for me. To get more viewers in the other stream. You know what? It keeps jumping back and forth, honestly. The last couple of days, yes. But yeah, it keeps jumping around, honestly. Sometimes it's the night stream that goes nuts, and then other times it's the afternoon. I'm really not sure yet, which is why I keep doing both, because yeah. I probably could do a better job of going through all the stats and stuff, but Twitch does not have the most robust stat tracking system, to be honest. What am I looking for right now? Black. No, pattern. Certain days get better viewership at night and versus on the other days. I mean, there's probably a little bit of it. Like, I think Monday afternoons do better than Monday nights, and Friday afternoons usually... I mean, Friday nights usually do better than Friday afternoons, but even that's not necessarily consistent. Yeah, it's really kind of all over the place. I still haven't figured out where the really, like, genuine deviations in it are. Alright, I gotta figure out what I did on the belt of this guy. I think I've been doing... Is that brass or bronze for the belt? I think it's brass. Let me check the other guy, too. So, there's definitely brass on the... skull. Yeah, it's brass. Okay, I've been doing all brass on the belt stuff. Okay. Also, can I ask why these guys have, like, normal leather, like, or you know, some kind of similar material belts with a normal buckle? Like, they've got maglock technology with rare earth super magnets. Wouldn't you think that'd be more efficient and more reliable than, I don't know, belts? Don't want to spend the materials on it? Don't want to spend the materials on it, huh? How much do you think a bolt shell costs compared to a belt with some magnets in it? Yeah, all the mats going on ammo. Okay, what about all these cybernetic implants for the cherubs? Nothing left for accessories. Nothing left for accessories. What's this giant chunk of metal here? You know this thing's like over a foot long, right? Like this Indomitus Crusade, like, campaign badge thing of metal here is large and heavy enough to be an effective weapon. Not even just a weapon, an effective weapon. Hard to hold, but the actual heft of it would definitely do damage with that much effort. Also, space age. Even in the grim darkness of the far future, resources are not that hard. Also, can we get 2 more subs so we can have people actually having the badges I drew? It's very annoying to me that Twitch completely removes these sub badges in favor of the founder's badge when you can have 3 badges at a time and there are people with only 1 badge active and it's the founder badge instead of the one I made. Jeez. And I got some on the rope. Ah! Quick, someone get the RIP sound alert going. Maybe we have it all wrong. Some space leather with special properties. Yeah, it's added. It's made from. It's actually a woven belt, and it's woven from adamantine fabric or whatever threads. Adamantine threads. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Is adamantine or ceramite stronger? Adamantine. Or adamantium. It's adamantium. I know, it's dumb. Adamantium. It's what they make the majority of Terminator armor out of. Yeah. Well, I was saying adamantine as well. But yeah, I think in 40k it's called adamantium. Adamantium is definitely stronger. They make Land Raiders and Terminator armor out of it. And then there's that material they make the Custodes armor out of. That's even better, I guess. I'm trying to remember what it's called. It's why it's all gold. It's just unpainted that material. Wood? Yes. Yep. Their secret is they're all wood armor. They saw the Hobbit and were like, Thorin Oakenshield has got figured out. That guy's onto something. Quick, make the armor out of wood. Did I get more on the... No. It's coming off again. It's coming off the nail again. This is really annoying. Back in tick. Gonna make something neat. Sounds good. I'm gonna find out what that material is. I'm gonna talk over myself a bunch of times. Because I don't know how to speak. Aramite. That's it. Natural coloration is a lustrous gold, a hue entirely appropriate for the Emperor's personal gardens. Yeah, all their stuff's gold because it's the normal unpainted color of Aramite. I don't know. Alright, let's try to re-glue this again. This really doesn't just... Maybe I'm not giving it enough time to cure? I don't know. Okay. That's the glue residue out of there. Wait, can this go away in there? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Alright, here's hoping that will dry together much better. Now, while it's drying, let's see how the base is doing. Still a little moist. A little bit. Yeah. We'll give that a little bit longer to dry. I'm gonna start working on the skull here. Trinket, trophy. Start rack earth flesh. I wonder if I can rearrange my desk somewhat to always have a presentation piece properly centered in front of the camera. It can just always be the most recent thing I painted, just hanging out there. Just realized I don't... Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Son of a... Yeah, I just remembered I'm supposed to have my thing on airplane mode. Wouldn't it be cool, Venom? Not super sure how I do that right now, but maybe? I'm gonna think about that. Like where we could see it while you paint. Yeah, like this guy is right now that I was using as a painting aid earlier, but it would be like... Well, I guess to see it best, it'd be at like a tilt, and I'm not sure how I'd do that unless I started magnetizing all my bases. But something like that. That right there works, anyway. How would we see your sweet selection of blue pots? I know. I know, it'd be such a loss. We might mourn it even as much as we mourn Auto mod. Yeah, it's more than so much. I forgot its name already. Blue's calming. Do we want people calm though? I think we want people inspired. To rip iMod, we hardly miss you. Yeah. Like, for someone to start doing something enough for me to kick, you know, to mute... What am I saying? For me to actively mod them, like... It'd be pretty brutal. They would not last long on Twitch, period, and it would just be a, luck of the draw that they found us first. That's the level of, like, nastiness that would have to come into my chat for me to actually mod someone, so auto mod is not helping me out any. Like, we'd be talking verbally violent or sexually harassing. That's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else. Like effectively just actively trying for someone else to have a bad time. That's not me, anyway. If someone was doing it to me, I would just as soon troll them back, but... Yeah, I think you get the idea. Hence the rules I put in the chat. Like, I know most streamers probably wouldn't have had the conversation we had earlier about World War III because, oh, depressing adult topic, and I'm like, nah, I like those conversations. I could easily talk about that all day. So, like, I don't really know, and I don't mind swearing. I've mentioned it before. As soon as my parents are out of here, you guys are going to be hearing a lot of swearing. There's going to be an 18+ marked stream real quick. So, what is there to mod? I made you a mod, Venom, because I kind of had a feeling somewhere down the line I'd get something like the stream elements where there's a bunch of extra stuff you can do as a mod. I still can't believe that Russian news. That's nuts. Like I said, I've been kind of waiting for it. Still haven't heard any consequence of it just yet. I've heard that the Pentagon is kind of just waiting to hear what what Poland has to say about it. It's kind of all up to Poland right now. Comes down to Poland if we have another world war. It's really historically ironic. Except this time, Poland's got teeth. Poland's, like I said earlier, Poland's been ramping up militarization for a little while now, and actually has gotten a pretty significant military. They might not even need the rest of us at this point. They could go clean up the Kremlin on their own. Alright, I'd say that's pretty smooth and opaque. Time for the next step. Pallid Witch Flesh. I swear that's what that actually says, you'll just have to take my word for it. Also, ironically, Tone went off to eat, and now I'm painting Bone. Like he could have just watched this. It's fine, there is another skull to be done in this guy. Oh, and the shield, actually. Not that we were gonna get to the shield tonight, like, at all. That's not gonna actually happen. Okay, this is a paint I could use a mixer for. Because either liquid or goo. And just trying to mix them together to actually get the paint the way I want it is the trick. I think I'm gonna mix up our music here in a second. I kind of want that dark steampunk action mix we had the other day. Yeah, this here. Just gonna turn this down a little bit in my ear. Alright, cool. Alright, Pallid Witch Flesh, let's go. Hey, zombie. Yes, white scars. Can you even believe it? Shock and horror. I am painting white scars. How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good. I have decided that I'm devoting the next while to just bursting down and finishing this commission. Otherwise, I'd actually be doing digital art right now, not painting minis. But motivation's there to just do a whole crapload of this. I have been drawing. I've been drawing a few things. Some merch, some badges, the new logo for the channel, some D&D art, D&D character art. Here, I can pull up some stuff. Where did I put it? Did I not actually post palettes character art to my own Discord? Unless I put in a weird channel for some reason. Okay, well, anyway, I can grab the piece I've been working on most recently, anyway. Fairly easy. So this is very heavily work in progress. And this is meant to be merch. It was originally supposed to be much simpler and be a, part of a series for, like, going over the, what do you call it, the main D&D classes in kind of an artistic way. This is meant to be the Warlock. Mr. Blue Man is the Warlock. So far the only things like remotely close to done, as you can see, is the Devil over here, but you know, you got Devil or Archfiend, Angel, and then Cthulhu Dude. It was originally supposed to be simpler as My Life Mile. Yeah, nah, it's basically all my painting. That's how all my art goes. But, yeah, it's all rough sketching, obviously, so I can kind of have an idea of where stuff is, and then this is more of, like, what stuff's gonna look like when it's done at this point. This is all done using the app Infinite Painter, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah. So that's what I've been drawing. Why do I have so many pings all of a sudden on Discord? Oh, my cousin's streaming Fortnite. You starting early tonight. We might raid him later. He's pretty fun. Or even switch over to streaming alongside him late tonight. We'll see how it goes, how my energy goes. Alright, let me close all this stuff and get back to actually painting. Alright, anyway. So this is the most recently finished guy. And yeah, working on the Sergeant. I had him here because I was working on the Sergeant's tilt shield and I was using the lightning bolt as a reference point. Here we go. That's actually the main piece we're supposed to be painting right now, but it keeps coming off the nail, so I've got it drying more. We got this bit done. And we're making our way through the base. Which we might be good for our next step here in a second, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, let me get another coat on the skull, and then we're gonna dry brush that base. What have you been working on, Zombie? What is on your desk? Not nearly as much as not nearly as much progress as I could be, but we're getting there. Now that I'm doing a lot more of the roads, like boring stuff off cam, I'm starting to pick back up the progress. White armor, the backpacks, building the bases, etc. Oh, prepping and priming them as a whole. All that's off cam now. Just been doing a bit of this and that. Start working a physical job again, so I have so much energy to work on other things. That's totally fair. Been there, done that. Does make it hard to do hobbies that aren't basically video games. And even then, sometimes. Also been working on upgrading the stream in general. Like as of today, I got stream elements integrated. I don't have everything on that I want, but getting there. Worked a little bit on the panels underneath the stream that I've not really been working on. I gotta make some art for that, but that's, man, that's so far down the priority pipeline for drawing stuff right now. Alright, so that's there. Let's do the dry brushing. So we're gonna grabbing some Dawnstone and using a fairly stiff synthetic brush. Yeah, I need to mix that more. Oh, you could hear it for a second. You could hear the wet noises of the mixing bead. I need to start drawing it. You drew? You draw? You drew? What you drew? Like mixing mac and cheese. Oh yeah, that wet sound. Yep. that's, yeah. Then it gets them to actually stay on this brush. It's a little harder to dry brush with normal paints, but you can do it. Yeah, I draw a bit, mostly doing environmental stuff. Well, that's cool. Been trying to work on anatomy here and there, but I lose patience. I have not even tried to do environment stuff. Everything I've done so far has been characters. Character-based in some way. I feel like I'm starting to get the hang of it, as you kind of saw with the anatomy on those... on the arms and chest there. Though, to be fair, the guy I was drawing before that was a robot, so, you know, slightly different. Kind of just make the anatomy whatever I want. But yeah, the D&D character art I was doing before was a Warforged, so that's why robot. I just couldn't find somewhere where I had easy access to, like, putting it into a Google tab to show it off, so... yeah. Oh, and yeah, and then there's the Space Marine. That's the new, chapter logo, or channel logo, which is another character. I do intend on going back and making, so I have merch with that logo on it, and I have intention on going back and recoloring it in a bunch of the main, like the most popular chapters. Got in t-shirts and on coffee mugs. Eventually want to add to more stuff. It takes time to do all that, and I need this done so people are more quick to put in commission requests, because I'm not actively working on a commission even when I say I can and will take another commission, because this guy is not in any hurry to get this, hence it's taken 2 years. And I need money. Just flat out. I need money. I enjoy money, and I do require it currently. So, send me models. Alright, Tone. You just totally missed the first 2 steps of painting bone, ironically, but it's okay. There's more skulls involved in this guy anyway. Thank you, Venom, for the reminder as to why I don't have kids. Yeah. My brother has a kid and 3 stepkids, and man, is he considering life choices. But he's stuck with what he's got now, so... That's my younger brother, by the way. I did some bone my Death Guard earlier, it turned out decent enough. Oh, good. That's 4 kids too many. Yeah, as the oldest of 4 kids, I can agree. And my younger brother went along and just managed to do the same. Like, oh, man. Yep, now he's down in Florida. No snot goblins for me. I actually prefer the term crotch goblins. I heard that a few months back, and I'm like, yep, there we go. That's the keeper. Also, I am way out of frame. 4 is insane. We have 2, and that's a handful. Yeah. Yeah, crotch goblins? Yeah, no, it's pretty good. That's why I immediately latched onto it when I heard it. I was actually in a busy I was at like a big, how do I describe this? A very large group outing at an IHOP. And someone said that from like 4 chairs down and across the table, and I'm like, that! We need a little bit more paint on these rocks here, because the rocks are then gonna get Nuln Oil to soften them down a little bit. So the highlights need to be very sharp. I used to refer to my younger siblings as sentient tumors when they're really young. That's kind of rough. And one is 99% snot, 1% goblin. Believable. Alright, we're gonna get some Nuln Oil on this and call the base done. I'm going to off-camera pin the base to it, but probably not until the front is done and attached to the main piece, just to make things easier. Does not go there, that goes over there, and this is over here. Oh, there is going to be a piece of art at some point in the future. It's going to happen that I'm now kind of stuck doing. So I guess drawing will definitely come back by this point. Sometime in April, I have to draw a dragon. Because I told, Bree over at Folktale Studio that I would. That just popped into my mind. She doesn't know it yet, but I'm gonna make her think of an epic name for mine. Because I made it, I thought of a name for hers that she was doing for this month's. She's got like this art package thing where she draws a thing every month and people can be part of it. It's like a digital art print loot box type deal. She does for people that subscribe for it, and it was a autumnal dragon this month. Coming out really nicely, by the way. Oh yeah. So she was actually in the stream earlier, so Venom got to meet her. She's very fun. Very good artist, I think. But yeah, we were talking about dragons and the styles of dragon, and apparently her and my preferences on dragon anatomy are completely opposite. So I made a joke about seeing an example of me drawing a dragon by my preference side by side with hers. And now that's kind of a thing set for April around my birthday. So April will be about dragons, I guess. Of course, by then, unless I have a commission going, a new commission going, we'll have all the time to do whatever we want. Yeah, just like a little fun little art challenge thing. So, hers was around her birthday, which is sometime soon. I forget if it's this Thursday or next Thursday. Something like that. She's doing a birthday stream either this Thursday or next Thursday. That's all I remember. And she was doing an autumnal dragon. It's all like cutesy and stuff and pretty cat-like. And I'm like, I am going to make a spring dragon. Like a dragon based on the spring, and it's gonna be luminously green reptilian horror on the... How did I say this? Luminously green reptilian horror on wings that heralded the summer storms. And a bunch of other like poetic stuff. I don't know. I was in a poetic mood this afternoon. All right, this is done. That's good. It's fine. It's fine. Let's see if the front of this thing is ready to continue painting. Okay, I think it's actually solidly on there. I glued it into a different anchor point. There's a lot more contact now, so this should be good. Where were we? Painting the brass and the buckle there. Yes. Alright. Ad. There's an ad happening. No, I can't be tired already. I've only been going for an hour. And I ended it earlier. But... Sup, Sai? I don't know if you can see or hear me right now, because it says there's an ad playing. But sup, Sai? Chillin'? Nice. But are you a villain? I suppose you're the DM, so you are all the villains, technically. I just implemented new changes in my D&D games. Oh? Oh? What you got? There's still this spot that is like very red where there should be brass. I just can't seem to get the head of the tip of the brush actually in there. There we go, got it. Usually when it hits 0 HP and go down D&D and I pick back up, rather it's healing or whatever that brought you back up. If you go down again, you would gain one automatic failed death save. So if you go down 3 times in one day, you just die abruptly. That kind of makes sense, actually, because I can only imagine how much of a shock to the system the going down and coming back up is. Doing it repeatedly just can't be good for you. Do you think certain, like, better healing stuff could reset that mechanic? Like, say, greater restoration? I've made a rule for my games where now if you go down, come back up, you get 1 point of exhaustion, meaning you get significantly weaker each time you get back up, still dying at 5 points of exhaustion. Right, so don't have 2 points, or I guess 3 points of exhaustion already when you go down. Say do points of exhaustion over failed death saving. Death saves are the same every time you don't auto-fail any. Do you like the 3K style combat where you played fights with all units in combat, at the end you determine who dies, so it simulates live combat? If you're asking me, Tone, if I like that thing in 30K, I don't know, as I've not played 30K yet, I've not gotten a book yet, I don't know how any of the rules work, nothing. I am in the dark when it comes to 30K still. There's just this one bit of black I want to tap before I move on to the next bit here, which is going to be Dawnstone. And then I think it will be, almost everything else, because a lot of it needs known oil. Might as well wash a whole bunch of it at once. Also, you only recover 1 point of exhaustion on long rest, so if you get really screwed up in a fight or drop 2 or 3 times, you're going to be injured for a couple of days before you go back to full health, which I think is great and very realistic, or at least more realistic than the usual rules. Yes. Oh yeah, it's definitely more realistic. Absolutely. There we go. Get back the Dawnstone and actually put it on the pallet this time. Let's go. Oh, I think I'm having like post-dinner crash, even though it wasn't even dinner for me. It's technically lunch. Regaining 1 point of exhaustion on a long rest is basic book of rules. I never realized until I looked yesterday. I always thought you just recovered all of it on long rest. No, it's just I feel like most people don't really utilize exhaustion that much. Partially because of how brutal it is. Even though, realistically, players should constantly be dealing with exhaustion considering the stuff they do. Like, I'd say it's safe to say most of us deal with exhaustion all the time, and we don't do nearly the amount of crap that PCs have to deal with. Well, maybe Venom with his one crotch goblin. Exhaustion is rough. Yeah. I talked to my players about it, and they're all down for it, so you can be in my game tomorrow. It's not that bad. One point, you just have disadvantage on ability checks, but you still have to fight dragons daily. I have to deal with you people almost daily, so, you know. I have good reason to be tired. It's not to level 5, you get your speed reduced to 0, and at 6 you die. Just a disadvantage on ability checks. I mean, sometimes it's hard just to get ability checks to work in your favor. Normally. So my players, they're currently in a place in my world known as the Dragonlands. Yeah. You won't use exhaustion or over encumbering as long as you don't take advantage. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's most games. Alright, so now that'll get non-oiled, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. Next we're gonna do Mournfang Brown, I think. Yeah. Which is gonna take forever, because this paint's very transparent. It's quite annoying. My players pulled the... Well, technically, the enemy can't move through me without my permission. So I had to start using the overcome rules. Well, you know. Tower shield. Actual phalanx. Even though we have never considered before, it's only a golden rule where it gives my players an advantage in the fight. Well, yeah, that's... Well, it's the same thing with enemies. Enemies can't... like, you can't get through an enemy's square without dealing with them. I want to play a game, even if it's just a one-shot of a bunch of players to get together and make an actual phalanx to be like, come at us. Oh wait, you were there. I was there. When Asuka started bringing it. Never has he mentioned it before. I think I might have been the one to mention it, just because it's just a thing. It's about... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the one that mentioned you can't go through a player's thing without their permission. That's why players can go through each other's squares and enemies. You can't go through an enemy's square without having to do some kind of check. Minimum. If at all. I don't know why you would think it would be the same the other... Like, it wouldn't be the same the other way around. Working on a homebrew myself, to run with a couple friends. I've informed that I intend to beat the crap out of them, and they all told me to bring it on. Yeah, nice. Now, Oscar brought up, I remember, is the base rules, so I can't argue. Oh, yeah. I mean, you are the DM, so technically you could, but, you know, are you really the DM if you have no players? It's kind of the balance DMs have to deal with. Like, you could change the rules, but you're gonna have to have some way of making that make sense. Like, now, okay, for one, I guess now players can do that to enemies as well. We can just run by them without consequence. If I really wanted, I could just be like, I'm the DM! Yeah. Yeah. And then it's like, well, I'll see how far that gets you. Especially in a one-shot where it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm out. Oh no, I lost an hour of gameplay, I otherwise could have gone. Opportunity to actually move. Yeah, but that's already there. Like, that's already there on both ends. The idea of them going through your space means you can't block them, which means... You can't protect other people, like your casters, for example, but also they can't protect their casters, for example, or any other strategic objectives, like what we had. We were in the bottom floor of a ship, blocking a hallway. I believe it was me, actually, specifically, blocking a hallway, and this guy just tries to barrel through me, and I'm like, wait, what? Excuse me? Get back here. Now, I've realized it's better way because A, now I can use it against them, obviously, and B, it would make corporal enemies pointless. Or incorporeal, you mean. It would make incorporeal enemies pointless. Yeah, ghosts can just do whatever they want, because ghosts. Yeah, that's kind of what makes them terrifying. They can go through walls, go through you, they can go wherever they want. That's their shtick. That's why there's specifically features for some players' race and stuff. Yeah. It's also why you get Sentinel, the Sentinel feat. I have someone somewhere with the Sentinel feat. Let's go. I'm pretty sure it's the next feat my cleric's picking up, actually, is Sentinel. I mean, Warcaster sounds nice and all, but... because he does have a lot of concentration, but at the same time, the whole thing about one of his deity's domains is protection, And one of their various war cries is "We are the Bulwark." Everybody plays our emotional support tank when we D&D, so he takes Sentinel every time. That's funny. Got some fun plans for the next session tomorrow. Cool. Gonna drop the first hint to one of the player characters' MIDI that his father may be here. Oh, fun. Okay. Also, I have noticed that now that I have stream elements, I have this activity feed in my OBS, and it has done nothing. It's keeping track of the number of viewers, but it shows no stream activity, even though... Oh wait, no, actually, we have actually had no stream activity. Never mind. I thought we did have something earlier, but no, no one's done anything with points or anything, so it's not properly tested it yet. His father was a master gunsmith. He is who taught Mitty how to be a gunsmith and to be a gunslinger. Mitty's going to go find old rifle his father made in the Dragonlands. Oh, cool.
Water. Water. Water.
I will have more water.
Water.
It still didn't show up in there. I guess it has to be stuff like new follower, new sub, new whatever. A raid. I don't know. Channel points apparently don't count. Yeah, I don't really know what that's for. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to use it for the leaderboard. Tipper and Shearer. I don't get many tips or... Oh, I can take tips now, by the way. Yeah, you have to scroll down. It's beneath the stream, but I have a tip thing. It takes PayPal and credit cards. At least it should take credit cards. That one might not be completely set up. It can take PayPal, though. Which won't tell them he is here, because they will most likely think, wow, I can't believe one of my father's rifles made all the way out here, like he sold to someone as was his job, right? If they do think he is here, though, it only makes it better. Alright, time to start on the big one. It's gonna take a while, especially because I'm using this tiny brush, so I don't mess up other stuff as much as possible. Particularly the red robe that's really annoying to fix. Got some character art of the father guy. I'm trying to figure out if there's a reason why. This might just be me in my head. I know she keeps spelling father with a U. Is that on purpose? This is actually like a feather guy, and I've been misreading it this whole time. Got some kit there for the father guy with his weapons also going to be important. His whole deal is he's been in the Dragonlands constructing weapons out of dragon parts. Dragon bone rifle. Huh. English? I've never heard, even in British English, father spelled F-A-U. Now I gotta look this up. Every single thing that comes up for Googling father with a U is either someone's like username, actual last name, or is this a misspelling of father? I cannot find anything showing father with a U as the appropriate spelling. Is it his last name and not, like... Yeah, I got nothing. Heck you. Nah, man, Google says, you weird. You spelled it right once up there. And it just kept happening. I'm like, what? No, I'm just misspelling it. Don't call me out so hard. Listen, we only deal with the truth here. Hey, I got called out just earlier for not making the tutorials I said I would make, so don't think you're getting off easy. I type fast and my brain catches up. Leave me be, you understand. Yeah, see? Tone called me out for not making the bone tutorial when I said I would the other day. And it's literally been on my list for over a week, as well as the glowing sword and the stones that he ironically also pointed out wanting a tutorial for today without even realizing it's been on my list for over a week. I just have not for the life of me felt like editing video, like, at all. Apparently, the whole time what I actually felt like was painting these and making progress on it, and I just kept trying to do other stuff to quote-unquote relax, and then feeling like I didn't feel like doing anything, and really restless and not restful at all, and super tired. Turns out my subconscious just wanted me to make progress on this. Peak character creation D&D on Discord. Alright, we'll take a look in a second, I guess. I really dislike Mournfang Brown. After this pot is up and gone, I'm getting a new brown. Oh, that's a whole piece of, like, something or another. I don't know what that was. Okay, what's in the Discord? Oh! That's a whole thing. Alright, let's take a look at that. Let's zoom out first. I don't know why it's automatically at zoom 200, but sure. That's a thing. That is quite... That's a bit more than a rifle. Jeez. It's a full-on minigun. Yeah, I can't blame you. It's not a smooth pan at all. It's not even not just smooth. It's too transparent. It's too thin. It has crap coverage. It takes forever to make anything opaque. Well, yeah, I get that. I was more looking at the gun. That gun looks like a combination of a melt-a-gun and it carries Parent assault cannon, which is a dreadnought weapon. Like a weapon that this guy would, yeah, I have to zoom way out. That this guy would carry. And I have one. It's just in a bits box somewhere. It carries Parent assault cannon. Yeah. That was actually my original Contemptor loadout, was a carries Parent assault cannon and a twin las cannon. When I got my first Contemptor, which wasn't even that one, actually. Long story with the Contemptors. It's a whole thing. It's gonna be a legendary gun that will be inherited to maybe when I kill this guy off for drama. Powerful, but it's hard to use as it fires things like dragon teeth. Oh, that's some pretty expensive ammo. Jeez. Not to mention, I'd imagine hard to work with, too, to craft them into ammo. You're making it have a base firing function that fires usual bullets, but has other abilities that use special and explosive or expensive ammo. Fair enough. I keep thinking it's Wednesday and being like, oh no, it's okay, tomorrow's Thursday, I can make the videos tomorrow, you know, got plenty of time. Nope. It is Tuesday. More streaming tomorrow. I'll see if I can start the tutorials tonight. There's a chance that, in theory, I could just get into the swing of it and just finish them tonight, or at least one or two of them. They really don't take me long to do, just like I said, I just really wasn't feeling like doing them. Takes me on average, well, like 45 minutes per video, because the method the system I use now is so efficient. Like, probably, well, technically it's a lot longer than that because of the downloading time to get the footage off YouTube. I downloaded the footage for the bone tutorial the other day. I just hope it's the right video. I don't have a system for really earmarking them unless I put something about it in the title, which I don't always do because I don't always know it for absolute certain what's going to get painted and what's going to be actually done. My main one I'm working on is the Ripjaw Barrage, where you choose a line of 30 feet going in any direction within 60 feet of you, and you shoot a line of devastating dragon teeth like a half-power A10 Warhawk. Just shot the field deck saves to the enemies. If they save, they take half damage. Wow. Sounds like something out of a JRPG. Final Fantasy, if you will. It's like you hipfire a minigun and just sweep an area. Well, you can sweep an enemy too, to be fair. You'll probably sweep a couple, even. Also thinking of a creature as medium or smart to make one dex save, but for such large it must make another dex save as they are large and easier to hit with multiple bullets from the barrage. That makes perfect sense to me. Honestly, I kind of wish there was a system like that in general for area of effect spells or abilities when it comes to larger stuff. Like, why don't they... Let's say you do like a wall of fire and you line it up so it hits... It would in theory hit multiple spaces occupied by a huge creature, let's say. Why do you not get the ability to damage the huge creature multiple times? It's an area of effect spells. Nodders. Yeah. It just makes... Like, we do that in video games all the time. You go out of your way to try to line up that scenario. Because that's what would happen. Because casts would be more broken than they already are. I mean, And that's what you get for putting magic in a game. I don't know what to tell you. It's already magic. Okay, how about this? We give the martial guys better abilities because they already could use better abilities. Sure, but it's up to DM to balance things. Fair enough. Your fireball large creature takes up 4 of the squares. Yeah. I'm aware of what I said. Have a system where martial people can start taking limbs off enemies, and thus drastically reducing their stats and capabilities. How about that? How about we balance it by just making martial people more powerful instead of nerfing magic in otherwise obviously realistic ways? It would be like the large creature would take 2 waves damage round for. Actually, yeah, no, that's a good point. Based off the creature's size, not the literal grid size. Well, I was thinking not necessarily because of that, but because the actual force of the wave would hit him most likely on 2 of his square sides, if you will, at best 3. Just need to give martial classes spells that work like maneuvers. Just make battle class be a set of feats and martial spells. Well, yeah, it kind of has that, it's just they're not, like, the most amazing ever. They could be better, is my point. But my thinking is that it's already like D&D. How about we focus on balancing stuff by buffing the weak stuff instead of nerfing the strong stuff? Like, it's D&D where you're expected to be a normal human and yet able to best a 300-year-old plus dragon that can fly, breathe fire, and take out like the equivalent of actual tanks. I can't play a just martial class. I get bored of it and quickly need to have spells, so my usual go-to is some kind of multi-class spell casting class in the martial class. Right now, in my buddy's game, I play a sorcerer monk. And that's fair. I actually used to play almost exclusively rogues, and at first I was in 3.5, and now I don't. That really helped me look past rogues. I'd like to try a rogue again in 5e. I think they're like decent in 5e. They could be broken in 3.5, except I had one campaign where it was basically all undead and plants, but I was a rogue. Do you even understand how bad that is? It would drive a man to drink. That's also why I keep saying I would like them to fix the balance problems of 40k by releasing a second Space Marine Codex and making Space Marines stronger rather than making a bunch of other people weaker. One shot you played in was like 3rd time I've ever caught a player playing a rogue, so I'm super confident on what they do. I know their stuff works. I mean, rogue abilities are notorious for having confusing wording. Was one of the guys a rogue? I don't remember now. Who was a rogue? Oh, yeah. I don't remember her name. The chick was a rogue, right. She could just turn invisible, which was hilarious. I thought that was awesome. Couldn't do that in 3.5. At least not at levels I played. Rogues and played right essentially screw that guy in particular. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Like how sneak attack has nothing to do with sneaker being hit, it's just an advantageous attack of anything. Right, but back in 3.5, whole categories of enemies were immune to that, particularly undead and plants, because they had no discernible biology to focus your attack on. So when you have a campaign of nothing but undead and plants, and you weren't told that, right, and you weren't told that before the campaign, you were just told to make a character, and then you show up, and that's the campaign, it's kind of a problem, and that's why the one guy that died before that game fell apart was my rogue. Due to plant equivalents of velociraptors in the Lost World scene, where they're just running through the tall grass and then disappearing. This ability gets you advantage in attack roll even if the target has true sight or is an inanimate object. I feel like that wording is dumb. I would change that. I feel like people with true sight would negate that advantage entirely. Or anything else that allows you to see invisibility, because that's why you're supposed to get the advantage, is because they can't see you to defend from you. Alright, I'm hungry, so it's time for me to get some lunch. Be back in not too long. Yeah, go for it. It's absolutely dumb. Yeah, that is dumb. That is wording I would definitely change. I've actually been thinking more and more about DMing lately. I definitely don't have time for it right now, but I've been feeling a bit more confident in the idea of it. But it's been saged by such by Lord Jeremy, so yeah, well, I don't care. I go with what makes sense to me. That's how I see it. Guess what? You're in my game. And my game is going to be a fascinating mix of semi-realism and awesome. I will let you do ridiculous nonsense if you can explain it well enough for me. I also like the idea of having just magic in general in a world being somewhat reactive to people, so that extra things might just happen. Most of the time they're not big deals, they're usually aesthetic extra bits here and there based on different things, particularly characters' emotional states or other specific factors, stuff like that. Like, magic isn't this necessarily hardline thing all the time. There's a little bit of a wild element regardless of what kind and how the magic is, because there's just so many different factors available to be going on at any given time. So if your character is just like in the swing of it, hardcore, super mooding out, like you're just super angry, you're role playing, etc., yada yada, and it's real like hardcore, then I might add extra stuff to just flavor it. Which army, out of curiosity? White Scars? Yes, Diablo Bob. Welcome to the stream, by the way. This is a White Scars Blade Guard veteran with one of his finished buddies right behind, actually. These are part of a very large, high-detail commission I've been working on for way too long. There's a bit of a thing there I have to fix, I guess. There you go. Yeah, I have to rebuild lots of 5e for my campaign. Oh, I will use a wild magic surge on my players when they screw with magic. They fail check on messing with a magic-based machine. Wild surge. Screw with a magic item, break some stuff. Wild surge. I won't necessarily use wild surge. I'll just make stuff up on the fly that is, like I said, mostly like just aesthetic stuff. Like their magic. Their spells just shine a bit brighter, or do just a wee bit more damage, or their eyes turn black. Like, hard black, like shark black. For a little while. This is stuff I have in mind. This is not stuff I've tried, it's just stuff I have in my head right now. No, he does not hang out in the stream because he's super busy. He's actually an engineer, which is why he doesn't paint, really, at all. He pays other people to paint his stuff. I'm not even the only one that has painted his stuff. He's painted a bunch of the better painters in my area for different projects here and there. He hardly ever has time. But he really likes good-looking models. My favorite 5e magical item was a Shiv of Healing. Deals 1 piercing damage when stirred, but heals 1d4 when pulled out. That's funny. Using Wild Surge gives me an excuse to blow my players up for messing with stuff, and I can't argue because it's roll of dice. Well, I kind of see magic, especially like, well, no, just magic in general, kind of like technology in the sense that, like, really advanced technology is so complicated that, yeah, in theory, we know exactly what's going on, but we also really don't because it's so complex that we as humans can't actually, like, comprehend every possible factor going into, say, for example, the programming of something, you know? It would take a large amount of time to distinguish every possible thing to troubleshoot stuff so that when we hit the play button, you know, and then stuff doesn't work out right and does weird stuff. Like that kind of logic. But yeah, so how are you doing, Bob? What do you play? What do you paint? Are you painting right now? What is on your hobby desk? That's why you add print statements. Ah, yeah. Well, I mean, try doing that with a spell, though. I'm gonna work on my infiltrators. Nice. What chapter? Trying to do what with a spell? Oh, get like error logs and stuff. Skywrite just Skywrite error log. Your tether line in your magical circle was off by 3 degrees. Just written in the sky. That's funny. I'm still in the shiv idea for my homebrew. Crimson Fists. Oh, that's awesome. You might be the first legitimate Crimson Fist player I've actually ever run into. And that's saying something, because Crimson Fist is supposed to be super popular. Well, we do have a Discord. The link actually was just posted up there. If you want to share pics and have us all take a look-see, you can head in there, drop a pic, or 2, or 7, and I'll do some show and tell. We love meeting and seeing people's work. Or Venom can put the thing in there as well. I have a dwarf named Backstabber, and I've been searching for a weapon for him. What's his personality? Just started 4K like 2 months ago. Welcome to the hobby. I wouldn't worry too much about the only 2 months ago part, because Venom here decided to paint, you know, his first 6 models, and all of them look like I had been painting, like, my stuff, like, 2 years in, so, like, we get all kinds here. My son liked Crimson Fist when he was researching and started the army. And then you kind of just stole it from him? Is that how that worked? I mean, props to you if that's how that occurred. I approve. Never mind, guess. That took a minute, Zombie. Are you drunk right now? Just wondering. If nothing else, so I can live vicariously through you, because I would love to be drinking right now. Dude, when was the last time I drank? Oh man. Good while ago. I don't appreciate it. Back, join Discord. Nice! Also, there should be at least... Did I add Crimson Fist to the rolls? I think I... Or at least Imperial Fists. I don't remember now. You can grab a whole bunch of rolls in the rolls thing to help distinguish your allegiance. I think just Space Marines and Imperial Fists. Yeah, I didn't put any of the really prevalent successors in there. Partially because I'm almost out of emojis. I have to get, we have to get Nitro boosted to get more. Let's take a look, see. Let's, yes. Alright, so, yep, we got our 10 infiltrators. Very good. Oh, you got a bunch of mixing beads. There you go. Starting to figure it out quick. Yeah, alright. I would say this is doing okay for just starting. Not bad. I would say it's kind of a consistent thing that new people run into is just kind of getting the colors that they want opaque. You kind of just have to keep going with layer after layer until it becomes solid. I see you might be trying some highlighting stuff here, maybe? Is that what's going on? The pun name is pretty much our entire story. That tells you how lax and childish of a group we are. Summoned Halberd. With a name like that, they'd always want to face him. Halberd is a good face-to-face weapon. So Sun shows the army. I like the idea. It fits my idea of style of strategy in general role-playing games. No first layer, no highlights. Ah. Yeah, it looks like if that's one paint, you need to mix the paint more. And then just do more layers until it becomes more opaque. Also, you got a bent antenna over here. I just noticed that. Yes, hang out here if you want legitimate like advice as to how to become a better painter. I will tell you stuff that I think legitimately looks good, and then I will tell you, here's your next step. Yeah, also the hand there. Overall, though, yeah, this is newbie. This is what it looks like. And you're doing good. 2 months in, not bad. 2 months in for joining the hobby, not necessarily like painting for 2 months. So yeah, no, you're doing good. You're doing fine. It will take time. It will take time in the beginning to just get used to like a brush and how to do stuff. Don't expect this, you know, day 3. This is 5 years in and doing it professionally as my like day job for 2 years. I primed in blue, newbie mistake, and I added metallics, then contrast, trying to get the shiny but darker blue. The camera is my phone. This is actually my phone right here. You actually can get amazing cameras on phones nowadays. I'll post a pic of the first unit I painted. Oh, you got finished pics. Okay, I will keep an eye out for that. Yeah, you kind of want to. I have found you either want to prime stuff either white or black, and then base coat them whatever color you're going for after that. Not priming them in a color. You have a nicer phone than I. These are my work in progress. Yep. Yeah, no, I could tell they were work in progress. Still working on it. Hey, I have pics of my first minis. I can post them. I can't show them anymore because I've painted over them since, so like they're not very accurate anymore. Imagine if I was like my first minis. I mean, technically it was, but this has been repainted since and still is going to see some touch-ups before I consider the squad like refinished. Or like oh, his claws still being done, but like yeah. Technically were my first minis, but they've been repainted since, so that doesn't count. I personally play Raven Guard. So you know, Diablo. This is one of an actually completed Raven Guard Intercessor Sergeant. I tribalize my Raven Guard as well, and I keep hitting the little dude in the back there hanging out. Yeah, it's a very tribal Raven Guard. Oh, look at this guy! Oh, let's go! Let's go. Yeah, let's get this guy up. Look at this. I love Centurions. I love Centurions so much, honestly. It's insane that I don't own some. I want a very specific suit here. Sure. Nope. There we go. Look at this guy. I like the metal. It's like grungy. It's like a grungy gold. I like that. Yeah, this is actually fairly good. This ain't half bad. There's a little bit, you know, some cleanup here and there, but that's stuff you'll get better at over time naturally. Naturally. Like I say, what am I trying to say? Like I say a lot, the red spot was fixed. Nice. We got a Blade Guard captain, or a what do you call it? Oh, I didn't open it. Hold on. Nope, clicking the wrong thing. Open original. There we go. Yeah. I like the bone. I like the. Yeah, don't worry. We'll teach you how to do white. You got the basic like concepts in mind. You're going for it. I like it. You're going after the sword. You know what's crazy? This white outline on the sword is exactly how I did the white scar sword, just with an extra step on it to pull it together. That's the only difference. You're getting there. You got the ideas. We just gotta teach you the specifics. We'll get you there. Don't you worry. Don't forget to follow so you know when I post, by the way. You'll get it through the Discord too, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this sword right here. This is nice. Yes, turns are on my wish list. Yeah, no, I want Centurions bad. I've never gotten around to getting any. Thanks for the follow. You improve on every model. Those are great first goes. Yeah, they are. So this sword right here is plate mail metal, white on the outside, just like yours, and then I put a wash of Escorpina green over it, and then I do the glow with an airbrush. I just. Okay, it's a little bit more careful than that, but you get the idea. So yeah, no, you're already getting there. Also in the Discord, if you go up to the uploads thing, or you do command tutorials in the Twitch chat here, you'll find a playlist or a cache of videos of my tutorials. A bunch of those you'll probably find useful. It's just me time-lapsing, me painting stuff on stream from beginning to end with subtitles explaining the system in detail. So hobby store near my work that has a bargain bin. I got Centurions in the box for $30 was an epic score. Yes! Dude, I would so love some $30 Centurions. I would actually start painting on my own stuff in my off time again if I had that available. I need to put lead belcher on the chain here, and then get some plate mail metal on here, actually. Or no, actually no, it's shining silver on here, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, take a look through them. I've got some more on the way. I keep saying that. I mean, they're on my list to do. I'll try to do one of them tonight. I'll try to do bone tonight. I'm gonna try to do bone tonight. Or at least by tomorrow's stream. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, Tone! Don't be mad at me. Alright. Let's get back to painting. This lead belcher is really falling apart. I think I don't have much left to do with it. Lead belcher's not looking good. It's very, like, grungy. Here's something I gotta do at some point in the future, is figure out a better system for palette cam. I really feel like palette cam could be better. Just gonna really see what's going on there. Definitely new at painting. I've got a lot of models. May have gone a bit overboard. You haven't. But with the bargain bin, I did save a lot, and I did still buy a bunch new. So, here's the thing. 40k is a long-term hobby. Everyone has what's called a pile of shame. It's all the stuff they haven't painted yet. I have a Google Doc that's actually pinned in the Discord somewhere of my full Raven Guard collection with trackers showing what I have painted and what I have not. I own a bit over 200 models. I consider about 67, 68, 69 of them roughly actually done. And that is not abnormal in the slightest. That is fairly standard, actually. Can confirm this list exists. I've seen it. Yeah. No, it's not a secret. I'm very much like, hey, this might help people, you know, organize their collections. Oh, hey, the activity feed does work. Yeah, Diablo Bob followed your channel. Nice. Cool. I mean, I don't need it in 2 places. I've got another one over there, but I wasn't sure if it did other stuff, so I'm testing it out. I just added stream elements to my setup, so I am testing some stuff out. All right, we're gonna do this Indomitus piece next. For that, we're grabbing Army Painter Shining Silver. Well, in a month, I went from no balls to about 3,750 points or so models, probably a little bit more. Awesome. Great, you've got the next, like, year and a half worth of painting, like, already taken care of. And guess what? You're definitely going to buy more stuff before you've painted all those. It's a never-ending cycle. Like, the concept of someone that's painted all their models is a joke. It's a unicorn. They exist, but we refuse to acknowledge them because they are so rare. Like, welcome to the plastic crack addiction. Hi, my name is Table, and I'm a plastic crack addict. We need a sound alert of one of us. One of us. Hey Venom, can you add that to the list? Honestly, I like building them, just painting takes a time. There are ways around that, actually. If you are not worried about getting, like, these kinds of results for painting, we have things called speed paints, and contrast, and speed paint techniques. After these weight scars are done, I'll probably be playing around with quite a lot of them. Just you're gonna be waiting a good, like, 2 months till we get to that point, but, you know, it's there. Man, I keep forgetting how, like, this paint is on it's actually spreading around and doing stuff. I enjoy it, but being dad of 3 special needs kids, time is a premium. Oof. Yeah. Well, like I said, speed paints, Army Painter. Look at him. In 2 months, I started 1 Eliminator, and I have 9 Eliminators, Strike, Poxy, Chaplain, Bike, Redemptive Dread, Eliminators, and Vanguard Vets, Kievar Leader, Star Priest, and Orc Rocker waiting on paint. Or start 1 Infiltrator, right. The method my infiltrators are being painted is type of slap chop offshoot. Well, there you go, so you're already starting to learn the lexicon. I keep forgetting how much this paint, like, kind of sucks to first get on, and then it looks great once you actually get there, but jeez, it is like pulling teeth until you hit that point. Also, why is there a weird, like, just drop right there? That's bizarre. Weird design screw-ups in the model design. I don't like it, but I guess I'll just deal with it. Yeah, I'm one of those people that paints very slowly and is very OCD about all the little details, but because I hit the point where I could get paid to do it, so now I spend most of my time doing it. And I still make next to no progress on my own army. Dude, that's mostly this one commission's fault, to be clear. Which is my fault for taking it in the first place. Basically using Metox instead of white and trying to go for darker to get the contrast to do a darker Crimson Fist blue, also get a bit of sheen. I think I'm following. Metallics instead of white. I don't remember them really having any white in their scheme, but carry on. And trying to go for darker, get the contrast, dude. Like a darker blue to contrast the red? I thought they already had a dark blue. Like, it's basically Night Lords. Alright, I got a dip. Was fun catching up. Take care. Yeah, have a great one, zombie. Glad to have you around. It has been a tick since you've been in here. Or since I've seen you, but also I've not really been in Ruckus's streams in a little while either, so... Cantor blue. Yeah, that's actually the blue they're supposed to be. Actually, I have that blue. It's actually right in front of you. It's this one. The Centurion is that. Yeah, that's the appropriate Crimson Fist blue, actually. But I want a more metallic version. Ah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of hard to pull, actually. It's an experiment, right? Yeah, I'm trying to figure. Metallic colors are kind of wonky. So, like, okay, like you get metallics because they're actual flakes of metals in the paint, and that's what gives its metallic look. It's kind of hard to do that with a color. You can color shift it once the metallic's on there. However, depending on how you do it, you're likely to lose a lot of the metallic aspect of it. See these swords, where this was a fully metallic blade, and now you can hardly tell. Very lightly, I guess. I don't know. Metallic with a contrast over it looks better in person than pick, but I have lots of detailing. So, I mean, that's fair. I mean, also, yeah, the picks do make it hard sometimes to tell details. It took a long time for me to get to where I am. Like, it took me years and years of dedicated effort to get to where I am in photos, which, example of photos. Which I can teach you how to get photos like that, but it does rely on a camera like the one I have in my phone. Yeah, which is, you know, it's a learning process, which is why I just realized I'm in an ad, so I don't even know if you can hear me right now. I just got out of ad. Okay. So what I was saying is, yeah, being able to take good pictures definitely helps in trying to see a lot of the details. And that in itself is a whole skill set, learning how to take good mini pics. It's taken me years to get to where I am here, for example, with these pics. That took quite a bit of time, but it's something I can teach. Downside is you do need a camera kind of like the one I have in my phone, which is an iPhone SE 2nd Gen, which is on par with like the iPhone 14. It's a fairly new phone with a really good camera. Also, did you know I have merch? Top left there's merch. Command merch will get you there. Posted the final Centurion. Okay, cool deal. Let's go take a look. Yo, yeah, let's get this up on screen. Let's do it. Oh yeah, there's actually a very easy purity seal tutorial I have for your purity seals, by the way. Yeah, this is looking good. Yeah, see the trim there with the gold looks nice. So second company, I'd assume, if you're following, you know, company coloration and everything. Yeah, this looks good. This is definitely getting there. I don't know where it just zoomed in way up there. Alright, so let's try scrolling down. Mm. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah, I wanted to look at this. You know, I kind of like, for distance viewing, I kind of like the silver only on the tips and the black underneath for the better shadow. And this being up looking metal is actually pretty good. I don't even know how necessarily you do that to make it look that realistic. Like, I don't know how I would do that necessarily. Maybe like dry brushing? Oops. Oh, of course, I just messed it up. But yeah, I like this. This is cool. Tabletop wise, just like on a table looking at across the game mat, this would look great. Totally reasonable. Quite good. I will now catch up with the chat. Thank you, Venom, for the merch. Sorry if I talk too much. I'm random. No, I do this to other streamers all the time. I highly encourage people to talk in my chat. I need people talking in my chat. I fall asleep on. I have literally nodded off on stream because there was no one in my chat before. Yeah, it's chat for chatting. I did put in the rules of the chat. No fear. We do not, we neither ask for permission or apologize here. There's a rough dry brush, very light touch. Oh, cool. Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah. I don't know when I'm gonna do that necessarily, but it's nice to know how to do it. Yeah, no, if people weren't chatting, I would hate streaming so much. I do hate streaming when there's no one in my chat, honestly. I straight up do. You know why? Because when I'm painting normally by myself, I'm listening to, like, actually entertaining stuff. Usually either D&D games, like, you know, Critical Role or Jocat or something like that, or I'm listening to, like, documentaries or other, like, learning stuff. I'm learning. I'm not listening to music, especially not copyright-free music, which can be okay, but definitely not on my caliber. I'm a bit of an audiophile. I've actually done video production and audio editing for like 8 years professionally, so like, yeah, no, I can't, like, even this caliber of copyright music being pretty good, I would eventually start just nodding off. I feel tired right now, and I am talking. I would be, oh man, I hate it when there's no one in chat. So much. What do you think you'll pay following the White Scars? That's an excellent question, my man. I stumbled on. I was like, I like the look, some mental notes, and left a decayed metal look. Yeah, it's cool. What am I gonna paint when the White Scars are done? Jeez. I had a thought, actually, of maybe just taking a break from painting for like a solid week, if I can. I'll see how I feel. Inspiration might hit me for something Raven Guard specific, and I might want to paint something really bad or something. That might happen, but I did have the thought of maybe taking a week from painting, just doing a bunch of gaming streams. I don't know, to be honest. I have several ongoing Raven Guard projects that I've kind of started, like, piecemeal. I think like four projects. So I could pick up any of those, like that tactical squad I was pointing out. So if I can ask what you the Raven Guard, you can always ask. If I don't like your question, I will just deny answering it. You can always ask. Ask the question. No fear. This is a fearless stream here. If I ever said I'm scared to do X, call me out on it. Venom knows. Subnautica? But anyway. What do you mean to Raven Guard? Yes. So, I have to go into my history and how I got into 40k. So, 40k, I was 18 and I stumbled upon the 40k wiki. No joke. 40k wiki. I just stumbled upon it. I think it was... Yeah, I saw snippets of it in gaming music videos, which I can't wait to watch for Subnautica. Yeah. That, again, that's one of those things where I have to wait until my parents move out, and then I can turn this into the proper 18+ stream that's appropriate for gaming streams. I can't wait. But yeah, so just waiting on that. I think we're good for Nonoil now, finally, and start the highlight process for a bunch of this. Okay. So I saw snippets of it in my teens of different cutscenes. Yeah, cutscenes. For like Dawn of War and some Age of Sigmar game or whatever. I don't know. So this would be back in 2011. Then 2012, I'm 18. I stumble upon a new Warhammer wiki and I start reading it. I'm like, whoa! Like the fandom wiki. You see the new Rogue Trader game on the way. I have not seen the new Rogue Trader game on the way. Say what now? I will have to go look into that. But I'm gonna continue with my background story because this is actually quite the tale, but will give you a lot of insight as to how and why I play the game. It's party-based RPG turn-based. So like Final Fantasy style kind of game. Because we've already had a bunch of 40k games like that, and a lot of them are not good. But anyway, the XCOM style, yeah, we've had ones like that too. I've played a couple. They're also not good. Space Wolf, I think, was one of them. That one sucked. It was on the mobile. It was very meh. Anyway, so I'm reading this wiki, and I get real into it. I'm like, this is amazing. The scale is the biggest thing for me. Like, the lore is very cool in general, and I love the historic references. I'm a huge history buff. I love history buff. History stuff, military stuff, all that type of stuff. I'm a big junkie for just knowledge in a lot of those regards. Like economics, I actually really like macroeconomics. I don't talk about it much on stream, but I'm a big junkie for macroeconomics. But anyway, so like the scale, the big, when I've played games growing up, like, you know, especially military type games, I always wanted them bigger battles, more extreme combat, everything. I just want everything bigger, more chaos. So I read the wiki for like 5 years. That was a little bit before I got my first job, which was retail, and I would read it on my breaks on my phone because like the wiki app was like the one app I could actually like read back then, or one app I could actually use on my rinky-dink phone. I also love history and retired from the military in October 2021. I'm 4 years old, by the way. I know I'm old. You're not that old. We've got like, what, 49, I think someone said they were turning pretty soon. I think that was Fizzle. Das Fizzle. Or Das Fizzla. I call him Fizzle. 37. Yeah, no. And we got a 17-year-old regular here. I'm 28, like right in the middle. Like, no, you're good. We got all ages here. We're fine. On my bad days, I may as well be an old man. Grouchy. Not as much anymore. I used to be grouchy all the time. Anyway, back to what I was saying. But as I'm reading, and this is at a time where I was very politically active. I mean, I've always been kind of politically active. I still am kind of political, but like, I was very politically active back then. And I've always been some manner of libertarian, or ideally an anarcho-capitalist. So I'm reading about, and back at the time, I was obsessed with any type of literature having to do with, like, rebellions and uprisings. This is, like, 2012. Like, we just went through Occupy Wall Street, and the Arab Spring, and the second Obama election. It was just it was a very politically charged time. So I'm reading about the Raven Guard and how like they're actually pretty like reasonable on that level. Like they hunt, like they're the slayer of tyrants, and they actually care about the imperial citizens, and they work alongside the Imperial Guard very well, and they're very like actually like put together. And Korax is like a former slave, and a lot of the Raven Guard like originals are former slaves, and they hate slavers, etc., all that stuff. Sequestration era, yeah. And also I'm a sucker for good fantasy vengeance stories. vengeance as a concept. I love it. D&D cleric I've played for like 6 years. He's level 11 now. One of the primary domains of his goddess is vengeance, because she's the Egyptian scorpion goddess Selket. So yeah, and I also like the semi-realism of them using like stealth tactics and stuff. I think you might have been here earlier when I mentioned I used to only play rogues. I like stealth stuff. So yeah, for a long time I was like, if I ever got into the minis, which I thought I couldn't afford them at the time. It's really funny how that worked out. I would play Raven Guard. And about 5 years ago, so 5 years later, a friend gives me for my birthday the Dark Vengeance 6th edition Space Marine starter pack, starter box with Dark Angels and Crimson Slaughter Chaos Space Marines. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm sure you can like convert these to look like Raven Guard. And I'm like, bloody stupid Black Templar players, as usual. So then I put them together, and it was really cool, and I really liked them, but it was actually a little while later when 8th edition came out with Dark Imperium that I got the Dark, good streaming, gotta run back to work, take it easy, and I'll catch the next one. Yeah, absolutely, Tone. Do what you gotta do, man. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. What was I saying? Dark Imperium came out, I got that box, and then actually got some paints, and actually started painting, and then I got obsessed with painting. I was like light bulb went off. I got obsessed with trying to make my stuff look better, bigger and better, and doing my own stuff, experimenting. More Discord pings have nothing to do with what I'm doing. Okay, anyway, random nonsense. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, a few years go by. Every single model I pushed myself hard to try at least 1, if not 4 new techniques, and tried new stuff and experimented and screwed a lot of stuff up. And then about 2 years ago, people started asking me to paint their stuff, so I started doing commissions, and then I got this commission not long after that, and been stuck on this ever since. I did a few commissions in the meantime while doing this one. For reference, Diablo, this commission includes all of this. And there's still more to come. Yeah. I signed on to this contract in April 2021, early April 2021. It is now mid-November 2022. Granted, I have not been working on this entire time. I do have another business I run, and I've been running for about 6 years now. I do freelance web dev and business media, specializing in small businesses. So there have been segments of the last 2 years where I've only done that because it was more immediate money and very large contracts. So like, what was it, like December, January, February of last year going into this year, I didn't even touch these, for example. So like, it hasn't been a solid 2 years doing these, but it's been a long time. And now we come to where we are now. I'm gonna quickly do the highlight for this and just knock that off. So yeah, what draws me to the Raven Guard is their semi-pragmatism, their relative, you know, kind of sort of freedom fighter-esque thing going on. They hate and actively hunt down tyrants, even imperial governors that are excessively bad. It actually turns out they're not the only Space Marines to do that. Ultramarines have not been known to do that as well. Like, ones that didn't, like, necessarily break the law were just absolutely terrible governors and did horrible things to their people, and the Ultramarines show up and we're like, this is not appropriate. Even by Imperial standards. That was pretty interesting to learn that. But anyway, assassinations, guerrilla warfare, all that stuff. And even lately, I've gotten good at playing them. Incredibly. At a tournament in August, took 3rd place. Was pretty impressed with myself, considering that Raven Guard are pretty bad right now. As far as the meta goes, anyway. Yeah, it took decisive W's on Drukhari, Necrons, and Space Wolves. What's kind of funny is I'm currently playing them less like Raven Guard and more like their successors, the Blackguard. Which the Blackguard shtick is like ambushing with massive amounts of firepower. And my whole battle strategy right now is forward deploying infiltrators on the objectives and then keeping them from dying by threat saturation of pointing a lot of really big guns at the enemy. I actually was supposed to use Ironbreaker on the highlights of the medal, which is actually noticeable because it's very bright. I want to go back and fix that. just painting away. Don't mind me. Actually, I should wait on that because I should do the buttons after I do the buttons and the pouches in the same Ironbreaker after I do the highlights on them. So let's do that real quick. Hey Venom, can you do a quick tally and see if I've done a leather tutorial yet? I don't remember if I have. And I should add that to the list if I have not. If you have the free hands, of course. My current army messed up and hoping to play soon. People keep saying it's interesting, but keep saying I need more anti-vehicle. Yeah, usually you do need a fair bit of anti-vehicle. Say the go-to right now for anti-vehicle is probably Eradicators for most people. I like Hellblasters, personally. I also have a few, like, more esoteric options I take, if you will, for anti-vehicular. So in Forge World, which is the branch that makes Horus Heresy out of stuff out of resin, though they've been slowly adding plastic to their stuff. Everyone keeps saying Eradicators. Yeah, so Eradicators they have melter rifles, which are 18 inch. What makes good anti-vehicle? Okay, yeah, let's go into that first. So you need a couple things. You need a couple things as a base minimum. Firstly, actually, I'm gonna finish this one. You need high strength. You need a strength of 6 at least, because that's the toughness of light vehicles, is usually around 6. So 7 or higher can get away with anti-vehicle. Really, like, good anti-vehicle is strength 8, strength 9. Because very tough vehicles will be strength 8, toughness 8, so 9 gets you a 3 to wound. Because the idea is you want to meet or exceed their toughness with your strength. Then you need damage. Well, AP is nice, but it's not as necessary most of the time, because most of the stuff automatically has good AP. But for AP, we'll say that, like, Neg 3 is usually good. Neg 4 is obviously superior, which reduces their armor save capability. So it makes the result they have to get on their armor save higher to ignore the damage. Neg 4 is usually your ideal because they need a 2-up save, which not many vehicles have, just to get a 6-up to save. So most vehicles at a 4 or 3 armor save. Just won't get an armor save. The damage goes straight through. After that, you're looking for minimum 3 damage. D6 is fairly good. Anything gets you like D3 plus 3 or anything plus something is usually pretty good. For example, Eradicators with their standard Melta rifles, or whatever they are. Oh, I was out of frame. They are strength 8, neg 4, d6 damage, so you can get between 1 damage and 6 damage. However, if they're within half range, it becomes d6 plus 2. That means they're a minimum 3 damage up to 8 damage. Vehicle health is usually starting around like 5, 6 for light vehicles. Usually around like 8 or 9 for for medium vehicles. Heavy vehicles are double digits. So I can actually give some examples here in a second. Actually, I can go over the math with you because I have an example of a light vehicle, of a dreadnought, of a medium vehicle, and a heavy vehicle available. I could look it up, but does each company get a chaplain? I already have a chaplain on bike, but there's a cool firstborn chaplain I want to paint too. They even get chapter assignments. Usually a company does have a chaplain assigned to them, but sometimes it's based on battle force and sometimes based on how many chaplains they have available, period. Not all chapters always have 10 chaplains available, but then again, they don't always have 10, or sometimes they have way more in the way of battle forces. So it's kind of dependent on when it's felt they are needed. For example, if they have multiple battle forces that know, or strike forces that know where they are going, they might have chaplains more often with forces that go up against chaos than ones that go up against like Eldar or something, like Xenos. Like Xenos, it's very obvious, like, okay, yeah, it's the Xenos, like, whatever. Chaos that can mess with you and potentially turn you, however, then the spiritual purity of the Astartes in question is a lot more relevant. But if you're asking if you need a reason to get more chaplains, yeah, you have reasons. I own a bunch of chaplains, actually. This is what I mean about ask questions. I will absolutely answer questions. About lore, about tactics, about collection structure, about painting. I love teaching, if you couldn't tell. You have reasons. Pfft, that's all I need. Add them to the cart. Yeah, no, if you want more chaplains, get more chaplains. I will tell you exactly what's in my Reclusium here. Let's see. I should really just bookmark this so I can get to it faster than going through Google Docs. Oh, jeez, I have all these work articles in the way. There you are. I have Chaplain with Jump Pack, which I play as my master, so I can see. Primaris Chaplain on bike. 2 Chaplains in Terminator armor, 2 different models actually. 3 Primaris Chaplains, just foot slugger chaplains. One's like the first one that came out in 8th edition with the hood and the skull mask, and then 2 of them are the ones from the Indomitus. And then I have 2 Judiciaries. Only the Jump Pack one is painted, and that's in the old style. And then all the others, some of them are assembled, some are, because I don't really use anything but the Jump Pack one. I would like to do the Chaplains in Terminator armor, because I have some very cool models for the Terminator armor. One is the GW, like, the limited edition one they had, like, 2 years ago. Another one's a third-party sculpt. That's awesome. I did an interesting list for 500-point army. Chaplain bike, 2 Outrider squads, 1 Suppressor squad, only White Scar list. I've made all other Crimson lists. Seems like it'd be fun to play. It would be, and honestly, in a 500-point game, that would probably work pretty well. White Scar's buffs would make that hit pretty hard, and the suppressor should be able to handle anything in a 500-point game, unless someone was cheeky and brought a box knot, a small dreadnought. 9 chaplains? I'm super good. Yeah. Oh yeah. Because Judiciaries are chaplains in training, so you know. Yeah, so for stats on vehicles, so you know what kind of archetypes you're looking at. Let me pull my book over here. I can't show the book on cam, unfortunately. GW doesn't like that. I could actually get in trouble. But, so I have reference to the stats, and then I'll show the vehicles. Okay, let's get a land speeder here. So, this is a light vehicle. Alright. This is my land speeder. This is currently set up as a Typhoon with the missile launchers. This is considered a light vehicle. This has a toughness of 6, 6 wounds, and a 3-up save. And that's it. They're pretty flimsy, but you'll run into a lot of, like, especially like Xenos vehicles. A lot of them kind of fall into this category. Hover tanks, speeders, yeah, lots, especially Eldar stuff. Eldar and Tau vehicles, they got a lot of vehicles in this category. These you could have just like an autocannon and do like good damage against. A good autocannon salvo could actually knock one of these out just outright. Because autocannons are usually strength 7, neg 1, 2 damage. So that'll pop one of these like without too much difficulty. For a medium vehicle, that's the Karn's not really a medium vehicle. What's the Rhino stats again? I kind of want to say a Rhino is around a middle of the road vehicle. Is my Rhino over here? Yeah, there it is. Gotta get to the transports. Yeah, yep, actually, yeah, this is a great example of a medium vehicle. Alright, so Rhino, this guy's not fully painted. Actually, it's technically a Razorback, but whatever. It's actually a fully detachable base thing that could just turn into a Rhino. Heard about Landstormer? Yeah, we'll get to that. I'm just showing you ones that I own, so you have a better baseline to think about it, how to think about them. Alright, so this is a medium vehicle. This is toughness 7 with 10 wounds. And a 3-up save. Yeah, 3-up save. Yeah, so this is like your medium vehicle. You probably want something like a missile launcher or Melta or Lascan to do reliable damage against them. And you have a heavy vehicle. Oh, actually, no, I'll do Dreadnoughts first, because Dreadnoughts are kind of their own category. They have different size Dreadnoughts. You probably have seen that in your codex. Just gonna move over to the Contemptor in here somewhere. Where are all the Dreadnoughts? Normally I just fall into those pages by accident. Oh, here we go. Alright, Contemptor Dreadnought. This is technically a Relic Contemptor because of its weapons loadout, but whatever. So this is toughness 7 with 9 wounds, a 3-up save. However, this has a 5-up invuln and Duty Eternal. Duty Eternal is the main thing that sets Dreadnoughts apart. Basically, it's -1 to the damage to a minimum of 1. So if you hit him with like a 2 damage weapon, you're actually doing 1 damage if you get through its other defenses. I want to get Redemptor Dreadnought. Redemptors are very good. They're very solid. I like these better, but you will not go wrong with a Redemptor. I do also own a Redemptor. I also own a Leviathan. Leviathan's kind of overcooked right now. A heavy vehicle. I'm gonna say my Stormraven gunship is a good. Well, hold on. Are Land Raiders toughness 8 right now? They are. Okay, I'll show Land Raider. This is not pan and also super dusty. Kind of obvious it's not painted, actually. Actually, one of his doors fell off. Oh, it's on the desk over there. But anyway, this is a Land Raider Crusader. Or, I usually run as Redeemer, actually. You won't see this very often, because it's actually easier to kill than you think it is. Then they're usually dangerous enough that people want them out of the way and the stuff inside them on the ground and shootable, so they get targeted pretty quickly. But here's the profile you're working with. Toughness 8, 16 wounds, and a 2-up save. So you're looking at, you're wounding them on 4s with a melta gun or a missile launcher, and wounding on 3s with a las cannon. And you're gonna need minimum 3 las cannon shots to take it out. And 3 las cannons will not take those out. You will need a significant number more of them. However, you can in a 2,000 point army where you can where you will probably see those most often, you can absolutely bring the weapons to get rid of that turn 1 no problem. Eradicators, single unit of Eradicators can take out a Land Raider without too much difficulty. Why? Because Eradicators, here's why everyone loves them. The standard rifle, the standard weapon for them, it's 2 plus d6 damage per shot. You get 3 shots, right? Not if you target a single target. If you do not split up your shots, you actually get to shoot twice. So for 3 dudes, you get 3 shots. I up it even more by giving them heavy melta rifles, where if you're non-half range, it's d6 plus 2, but in half range is d6 plus 4. So minimum 5 damage and up to 11. Oof. So with 2 good damage rolls, you could take out that thing. Thoughts on auto wound weapons or mortal wounds on vehicles? Not sure on rules for them. Auto wound weapons on vehicles is usually a good idea. If you're talking about the infiltrators and their auto wound thing, I would probably focus those on high toughness elite infantry, because you only get them on 6s to hit, so it's not going to be super often, but it's only 1 damage per. If you're shooting at something like a demon that has like an invuln save, for example, that can actually help you, because you might actually kill a couple. Vehicles, it's kind of wasted when, here's the thing, most vehicles, the grand majority of vehicles, don't have invuln saves, and it's not hard to get anti-vehicular weapons as a Space Marine. We have lots of options, so send those after the vehicles. Use other vehicles, use dreadnoughts. The mortal wounds, best way of getting more wounds in a vehicle is probably the melta bomb stratagem. Yeah, 6 is double for Crimson Fist. Oh yeah, no, I remember that. And you will get multiple auto wounds, but then they have to fail their saves. Vehicles usually have a 3-up save on average, so like they're probably gonna save. Or a 4-up if you're in a tactical doctrine, I guess. Then you still have to get a bunch of them through before you do any significant amount of damage. Like generally you want anti-infantry guns against anti-infantry. or against infantry. Yeah, it's just, if we didn't have as many options as we did for anti-vehicle, I would say, yeah, probably a good idea. But we do have a lot of options for anti-vehicle. You got Eradicators, Hellblasters, Eliminators with las fusils. You have Devastator squads, Centurion Devastators. You even have, like, what are they called? Stern Guard vets with combi meltas. You've got Assault Centurions, actually, because you can bring a bunch of melta guns on them with their fists that are very good anti-vehicle. You got Dreadnoughts. You've got Gladiators. You have you have my go-to. Now, this is a Forge World thing, so you have to spend CP to field this monstrosity, but this is my favorite anti-vehicle unit right here. This is the Relic Sakaran Venator, and this all the tribal stuff is my additions, by the way. You don't actually get that. But this is from the Sakaran line of tanks from the Horus Heresy, which were meant to be the elite replacement tank for the Predator back in the Horus Heresy. So they didn't make a lot of them, but they had a bunch of different versions of them. This is the Tank Destroyer variant, just like the Tank Destroyers in real life, where they were basically rolling artillery pieces aimed directly forward. This cannon is absolutely monstrous. 48-inch range, heavy 3, so 3 shots. Hitting on 3s, you can make it easily 2 up with a Tech Marine. Strength, like 12 or something like that. I'd have to pull up my Battle Scribe. I want to say it's like strength 12. So if it's toughness 6 or lower, you're wounding on 2s, is what that means. It might actually be higher than that. D3 I want, or neg 3, and it's D6 damage, but if you don't move, it's flat 6 damage. So he can reliably spit out 12 points of damage, often 18 points of damage. Like, he has popped a lot of different vehicles in a single shot, and he can come with lascans as his sponsoon weapons and a heavy bolter. Like, for an extra, I think it's 50 points, or 40 or 50 points, you can bring 2 lascannons as well. So that's 2 more shots at strength 9, neg 3, d6 damage. Like, this thing wipes things out so hard. I've one-shot Redemptors, one-shot Leviathans, one-shot Rhinos, Drukhari Raiders, the big transport raiders. My thoughts use a Captain with Chapter Master buff and target priority. Roll keep 6s, reroll non-6s, then reroll 1s, since they hit on 2 up. Oh, you can't, I should tell you this right now. You don't, there's no rerolling rerolls. That's actually a core rule in the game. There's no version of you rerolling something that's been rerolled. So, let you know now. So they hit on 2 up, and 6-inch double and auto wound with Storm of Fire out of AP 1. They're diff against infantry, but could be useful for vehicles if needed, or should just retreat and let Centurion take care. So there's never really retreating, because you only have 5 turns in a game, in a match. There's only 5 turns. It's more like you need to have stuff in position for whatever it is they're going to do anyway. There is a thing for bucket of dice. For that many, if you have that many things shooting like that, yeah, you'll do damage eventually. I guess just depends on, like against light vehicles, absolutely. Plug away at them on light vehicles, which a lot of vehicles fall into. You can do that. That will work against light vehicles. It's heavy vehicles, which granted are not as common, but you should be ready for, and in which case, yeah, just let the Centurions deal with that. Oh yeah, I gotta zoom in again. Yeah, if you re-roll a 1, then that's it. You can't re-roll it again. That's why some things you don't want re-rolls on occasion. Like, usually things with 2 dice, like charges, you might not always want to take the re-roll, depending. Like, if you can get away with something, just don't re-roll it. Like, if it's good enough, don't go for better with two dice re-rolls, because you have to roll both of them. Saw Centurions get master into it. Oh, I know. As Raven Guard, I can deep strike them. So, trust me, I'm aware. We actually, Raven Guard once, at one point, had broken the game with Salt Centurions, actually. So back in 8th edition, when the supplements first came out, when the Raven Guard and Iron Hands supplements first came out, side by side, the Iron Hands were absolutely broken because of Dreadnought nonsense. They could turn Dreadnoughts into characters, and everything that means. So they fixed that, but then people realized, suddenly, I'm about to put Skeletal Horde as a top coat on all my pouches there, on my leather. Raven Guard actually were pretty powerful too at the time. Because we have a warlord trait called Master of Ambush, which Master of Ambush means that that warlord and one other infantry unit it selects can redeploy, and includes forward deploy, so deploying in no man's land outside of the deployment zone. They do not have to deploy together. And yeah, what would happen is that people would actually deploy things like chaplains and chapter masters alongside 6 assault centurions 9 inches away from the enemy to start the game with, which means then they can move 4 inches, and you could actually do this combo to make it even worse. There's another Raven Guard warlord trait called Swift and Deadly, which gives a 6-inch aura of advance and charge. Normally you can't charge after you advance, but you can with that warlord trait as an aura effect. So they would actually, what they would do is, oh wait, I just realized. Nope, they could have made it even worse. I know how they did it now. I used to wonder how they did this. Yeah, you can guarantee, you actually don't even need that. You can guarantee it another way, with using more CP. We also have a, I'd have to check the ruling to make sure this is the sequence you could do this, and you can't do this anymore, period, anyway, but you can do this with other stuff. Not Centurions. They removed Centurions because this is how broken it was. If I understand it correctly, you would Master of Ambush to move the Captain and the Centurions 9 inches away from the enemies that you want them to charge into. And then you would use the Infiltrator stratagem on both of them to then have them do a full movement phase. Or a full normal move. So they've now moved 4 inches closer. Then you start the game. Then they can move another 4 inches. That's 8 inches. They're now 1 inch away. It's a guaranteed charge. Or if they couldn't do the infiltrators, which I was never able to do this, so I'm not sure if you could do that if the order was correctly. The other options have Swift and Deadly, which is you would move advance, so d6 inches additional, and then charge. Which you can still shoot all your melta-guns and everything because they're assault weapons, so you can shoot them at a -1 to your hits, but you have the Chapter Master next to you, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it was absolutely broken. No one could do anything with 6 Centurions and a Chapter Master in their face to begin the game. And what's really funny is I used to do that with a bunch of Vanguard vets up until they changed the CP rules, and now I can't fit my entire 14-step Vanguard vet bomb combo in anymore. At least not as well as I used to, so now I just switched to a whole bunch of guns. Yeah, I don't know how other chapters make Centurions work, but I definitely know how to make Centurions work in Raven Guard, even now. Thoughts on Phobos Captain Shu and Fade? Meh. Like, if their main objective was killing him, then it'd be pretty good to just annoy the crap out of him, but people don't really care about characters that much anymore. They're nowhere near as, like, extremely important as they used to be in 8th edition. 9th edition has drastically reduced the importance of characters. Now it's all about controlling objectives. On a 2,000 point game field, like a standard match play games, like tournament style, it's all about objectives and your secondaries. So you gotta think about how are you getting to objectives, how are you killing stuff on objectives to take them, and how are you keeping those objectives. That is usually the most important thing when you're talking about winning in 40k right now. It lets the unit that shoots with him, they can move again after shooting. Oh, right, okay. I thought that was just him. That can be useful. I can see how a Chepa doesn't have all the maneuverability options Raven Guard have, how that actually could be fairly useful. Does it say unit or infantry? So you can move off objective, shoot, move back. Right, it does depend on you having a character right where you need him, however, to be fair. Unit. Unit? It says unit? Hold on, I have to look this up. If it just says unit, but I think Phobos. Okay, well, it's probably Phobos. I was about to say, like, there's a lot of shenanigans then you can pull with that. Jeez, why is not everyone using this? Realize that tank that I showed, the tank destroyer, that thing has like 9-inch movement. It's fast. Land speeder, it's like 14-inch movement. It's starting to come together. I haven't started the purity seals at all. That's fine. I do need to highlight the... Do I need to highlight the brass? Actually, do I actually need to? Not really. The brass is kind of self-highlighting, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna double check myself. Not that I don't trust you, I just, you know, question everything. That was one of my rules. Hold on, let's see. It's litanies of battle, disciplines, relics, war traits. Here we go. Shoot and fade. Once per turn, in your shooting phase, after shooting with a friendly chapter Phobos unit within 6 inches of this warlord, that unit can make a normal move or it can advance. In either case, if it does, that unit is not eligible to declare a charge this turn. Meh. I'm gonna say meh, because that could be very good in very, 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 very highly situational situations. Like, you generally, like, especially now that you have to pay a CP to get a warlord trait, you want something that's a big, like, you want something that's a big force multiplier, like Rights of War. Rights of War is a brutal warlord trait, because it can make a whole bunch of stuff OBSEC that's not normally OBSEC. So, hey, you want OBSEC Dreadnought? Like, or a pack of like 6 aggressors or 6 eradicators or whatever, like OBSEC, like you can do that. I know Raven Guard have more movement options than Crimson Fist. Yeah, that's like our whole gimmick. Is like we can be anywhere we want to be. If we want to be somewhere, we can get there. Like it's dumb. I can guarantee a turn 1 charge with Vanguard vets. The problem is they don't hit hard enough. Not without my combo anymore that I don't have enough CP for. But yeah, turn 1 charges, like guaranteed turn 1 charge. It's a guaranteed melee. Turn 1 with Vanguard vets is not hard with Raven Guard. Crimson Fists, unfortunately, are a Imperial Fist chapter along the lines of Imperial Fists specifically, which is like one of the worst chapters in the game right now. One of the worst factions, period, in the game right now, so it's kind of rough, actually. Like, you're mostly just really good bolters. I would say look up whatever your chapter-specific secondary is and figure out how to make that work in your favor. So how do the new CPU rules work, or where can I read about them? I'm not playing them for the features, more for the lore. No, I totally get you. I'm just letting you know. Like, I play Raven Guard for the lore. I've played Raven Guard when they were like... I mean, they're kind of dirt right now, honestly. They're not that great. I was massively surprised when I did as good as I did again in that tournament. So... new CP rules are... oh boy, I don't really remember off the top of my head. You get a lot less of them now, but you get more of them per turn, because now it's on each round you both get. So you get a CP when it's your turn, and you get a CP when the other person gets a turn, so you get 2 CP per turn. But you start way less. I think it's 6. And also, you have to pay a CP for your first Warlord trait and Relic. Not just for a second one. Where to read about them, I'd say... well, I mean, it's going to be on Warhammer Community. I don't know how you would easily find it. I've not played a game in a good while, so I've not taken time to look these up. I'd say when I have a lot more time, I wouldn't mind actually trying to put together like a full like tracking document to keep track of all the stuff that comes out for like rules changes and stuff. It'd take a lot of time though. I don't know. I gotta think about that. But anyway. Secondary objective. Yes. Yep. So Yeah, in match play, in standard play, if you will, you have primary objectives, which are determined by the mission, but pretty much always have to deal with 4 to 6 objective markers on the board. That's what I mean about getting 2 objectives, clearing them out, and taking them, right? Those are your 3 big questions for primaries, and that's where a lot of your points come from. Secondaries are your other points, secondary objectives. You select 3 of them before the game. Every single faction right now and sub-faction that I'm aware of, or at least Space Marine chapters anyway, have a specific secondary objective exclusive to them. You'll have to do some Google searching, as they were in the Warzone Nephilim expansion book, which I do not own. I got mine as part of a printed out handout given to me as part of that tournament, so that I was able to select it. I can tell you what mine is, and mine is very nice. It's called Secure and Sabotage, which is anytime a Raven Guard core infantry, Raven Guard core infantry is holding an objective, they can take an action to plant explosives on an objective, and anytime later in the game I can choose to detonate those objectives, and it does a whole bunch of mortal wounds to people nearby. I never do that, because at the end of the game, for every unexploded explosive, I get victory points, and I can redeploy explosives, but why take the risk? Because my whole gimmick is I don't even worry about getting to the objective. I start on the objective. I have infiltrators right on the objective, beginning of the game. So turn 2 rolls around, and I'm just immediately planning objectives on like half of the game's objectives. And then I go for any more that I can pull off through any other shenanigans based on the game. Then I get like Bring It Down for killing vehicles, because I have a lot of anti-vehicle in my list. That's very easy. Then usually Assassination or Slay the Warlord, or maybe Oath. What is it? That's the Space Marine Oath of Moments, or whatever that is, because it's not that hard to get a lot of points in. Stuff like that. So I get points for killing vehicles, usually points for killing characters, which Raven Guard are extremely good at. Extremely good at. Our super doctrine is called Surgical Strikes, which is in the tactical doctrine, so turn 2 and turn 3. We get +1 hit and +1 wound against characters. Across the board. Whole army. That giant cannon I showed you, +1 hit, +1 wound against characters. And he has gotten shots on characters. He has evaporated several Drukhari characters and Necron characters. I don't have any Drukhari bits, but if I had any Drukhari bits, there would absolutely be some trophies on there. There are some Necron trophies on there, because I had some Necron bits. So yeah, for winning, you definitely want to figure out how you plan on getting victory points, and then how you are going to achieve getting those victory points. Like, what gets you victory points you have chosen that you think are best for your army to go after getting, and then making a plan for getting those with the units that you have, as well as countering the enemy trying to keep you from those objectives, because they're going to know what your objectives are, and you're going to know what theirs are. You denying them is usually just killing them. Our Space Marines aren't necessarily super good at that as often as not, and they do get killed fairly easily by other stuff, unlike the lore. So you're usually focusing on how to get those victory points any means necessary. Prepare to take massive losses. I usually do. But I got a lot of points in the end, so I win. Doesn't matter if my guys die. I'm not talking about Crusade, where it does matter, and is actually my favorite game mode by a good margin, but it's hard to play. It's hard to play Crusade, because you need a lot of people that are gonna... It's basically a D&D campaign, but with 40k. I feel like we're making pretty good progress on this guy. We're like actually almost done with this piece. I mean, I'm gonna do the white armor off cam, so I'm not worried about that part. But yeah, we're making progress here. I think I'm gonna try to finish the purity seals. So this piece is basically done except for the white, and like I said, I'll do it off cam, and then probably call it there because we're at 10 of 11, and I did start like 20 minutes early. But yeah, it's been a good stream. This has been a really good day, honestly. A lot of new followers. We hit 100 followers today. Very excited. We got raided earlier. Oh yeah, if my cousin's still on in Fortnite, we're gonna raid him. Don't mind his grumbling. He's actually pretty funny. Or not grumbling, sorry, mumbling. He's a mumbler. Mumbles. Yeah, be sure to call him out on it. That's not gonna be for a good few minutes yet. This purity seals take a hot minute. Alright, we're back from the ads. You still with me, Diablo? Yeah, cool. What else you got for questions? Hit me. Hit me! Fight me! Give me a hug. Dude, I gotta get some Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, like, sound bites and sound alerts. Got ads and start trying to find CF objective. Not straightforward to find that. Let me give a quick look. Warzone Nephilim Crimson Fist secondary objective. You might be underneath Imperial Fist, honestly, because you are basically Imperial Fist. There's like one minor difference. Yeah, I'm looking at Goonhammer, trying to find it. Oh, they changed the Oats a Moment and like the other. Okay, I gotta read those. So, okay, yeah, you'd be under Imperial Fists. You get Bolster Barricades, a shadow operation secondary objective that can perform on objectives you control, once per, with an action that one core infantry unit can attempt per turn, and will finish in the next command phase. Bolster an objective in deployment zone for 1 victory point, in no man's land for 4 victory points. Your Fist infantry wholly within 6 inches objective get light cover and heavy cover, which is pretty nifty. It's a solid secondary of 6 objective missions and will be acceptably fine on some of the 5s. So seems like it's actually like fairly good. It's actually very similar to mine. So you get one. So you get core infantry to an objective. You secure it, and then you do an action. On your next command phase, it's considered to be bolstered. You get 1 VP for ones in your deployment zone and 4 VP for outside of your deployment zone. And once you barricade an objective, your Fist infantry wholly within 6 inches of the objective get light and heavy cover, which is a +1 to their AC against ranged and melee attacks. For reference on mine, it's like the same exact thing, except instead of getting the barricade part of it, if I detonate them, I do mortal wounds nearby models, or if I leave them there, I get 3 VP per explosive at the end of the game. Yeah, let me, So this is Goonhammer, this website. They're pretty good at, like, breaking down stuff. That there will jump you straight to the Space Marines. But they're good at breaking down updates and new rules and stuff that comes out. So like, you know, if you're looking for like updates on stuff, yeah, it's pretty good. For building your lists, I recommend Battlescribe because it's a very easy to use app that is usually fairly updated on the rules. Though you should have your books on hand just to reference stuff, which, you know, or to double check stuff. Although, because of the updates, you usually are, you know, penciling in stuff or buying the new books and keeping them on hand. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, everyone would just say use the Imperial Fist one, because yeah, I didn't see a Crimson Fist. I also didn't see a Black Templar one in there, which I'm kind of surprised. I guess Black Templars are also using that, so I guess it's fine. I have both Battlescribe, the Warhammer app, as well as books. There you go. You're good. You got it figured out. The only other resource I'd say, even though I don't use it, but I know a lot of other people that do, is Wahapedia, which will just give you full rundowns on the rules just for free. Like the exact wording on rules and stuff. But like I said, I don't use it, so I can't tell you much about, you know, when you would use it or how often it's updated or any of that. I've got no idea. Alright, time for the Powdered Witch Flesh. We are almost done. I'm saying that mostly for myself. I'm tired, my jaw is sore, I'm almost hungry. I could probably eat. This is about normally when I'd have another meal. But I do want this thing done. This piece basically done. Basically tabletop. I'd also say good on you for choosing a faction based on lore, because that will carry you through the times when your faction is undeniably bad. Like right now, actually. Sorry, it's just the truth. It just, as far as like the meta is concerned, the Imperial Fist types are just really hurting. That secondary objective is actually fairly decent, so like you're probably doing a little bit better than last time I really checked in. I know I'm doing a little bit better as Raven Guard because of our secondary, but like overall, we're not in. I need secondary. Yeah, is the truth right now. Yeah, nah, both our chapters. Venom's in this too. Venom's a Raven Guard player like me. That definitely didn't have part in decision making in my mod. But anyway, yeah, we're all like suffering right now. From the 5 games I played, I can see it. Yeah. No, I gotta pull some like real meta stuff just to hold my own in casual games. Like it's just how it is sometimes. But Warhammer is a long-term hobby, so you just wait till the pendulum swings back our way. When I first started playing at the beginning of 8th, it was the same thing. Space Marines as a whole were garbage for like almost an entire edition, and then the supplements came out, and all of a sudden Raven Guard were one of the most powerful factions even after they fixed the Centurion bug. Until 9th edition came out, Raven Guard were possibly the most powerful sub-faction in the game. So you just gotta wait it out, because it could swing back around anytime. Man, back when Raven Guard were on top, I got into an Escalation League tournament, where basically after every round of everyone playing a game against everyone else, we would up the size of the game, and our one stipulation was no named characters under 1,000 points. I ended that early because no one could touch my list, because they said no named characters. So guess what I did? Because I'm cheeky. And this is back when they were absurdly good. Leviathan Dreadnought, anyone. With a Tech Marine to heal it. I also had autocannons on at the time, so it's 20 autocannon shots. And heavy flamers, if you got close. Good luck. That thing is a monster as far as durability. Unfortunately, now its weapons aren't that good, so it's just a big thing people ignore, because they're not going to try to kill it. I play for fun, I did not expect to win yet. Good, because you won't. I enjoy winning. I don't need to win depending on how good the interaction with the other player is. If it's very jokey and very light and we're having fun doing stupid nonsense, yeah, it's fun. If it's someone I don't really know yet, we don't have the camaraderie going, then I'd like to win. Especially because I don't play very often. I don't want to get stomped when I play once every 6 months. That's not fun. I don't think anyone likes that. That'll be fixed a lot more when I get a vehicle again. Whenever that will be. You know, in 2025 or some nonsense. I don't know. Nah, it should be way sooner than that. I finally got that 4x bod rolling. I have some slight adjustments to make, but that's because I adjusted off of the stuff I already tested like an idiot. Because I listened to other people instead of my own data. Dumb. I'm going to be fixing that tomorrow morning. When the market opens again. Oh yeah, I'm zoomed way out. Yoink. First 2 games are against Death Guard, the rest against Necrons. Ooh! Ooh! Can, Venom, can you pop that, Morgan Freeman quote? I will wait. Or I'll pop it if I have to.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, I feel you there. Necrons were a boogeyman in my local shop. Even when they were considered garbage, somehow we had this one player that's actually a part-time worker there at the game store. No one could touch him. No one could touch him for a long time. I had like 4 games against him, and I got mauled so hard. It was brutal. It felt like I was in a Band of Brothers movie when they were losing. Like I felt like I was one of the Space Marines, and my ancient dreadnought brother explodes around, like, next to me before he even gets a shot, and I see it across the field, so my other brothers get hacked to pieces by their new melee guys. And then it starts phase shifting towards me, and I don't even get to melee them because I'm then annihilated by some giant War of the Worlds dude. Like, it was... Oh, man. It was bad. It was rough. It really didn't feel like till very recently that I felt like I was actually starting to get, like, really good at the game. I actually need a little bit more shade. Then wait for the shade to dry, and then I'm gonna shade around it actually, so I can get a little bit more, a little bit of shadow going on there. It felt like it wasn't until very recently that I started getting like good at the game. I'm not really sure what like caused it to happen. It just things started making sense. First game though, I marched my Centurions up. He had never played against them before. Apparently people don't play Centurions often. Nah, not really. I think they should, but they don't. When I opened up with 72 shots, I rolled well with the 6s. Oof! I wiped out an untouched small unit he had off the board. I was happy and promptly lost. Yep, that sounds about right. You know why? You got close to Death Guard. You don't... Listen, they have cooties. You don't get close to the Death Guard. It's not even like a joke because they're diseased. They have literal rules that make you weaker when they are closer to you, and it gets worse the longer the game goes on. On top of them being dummy tough. They are dummy thick. With 2 C's. No more Discord pings. Ugh, no, I don't want to chat to that guy. Or chat with that guy. I don't want to talk to that guy right now. I'm gonna be too tired. He's just gonna be asking me for remodeling advice for his house, and I'm like, I am tired, my man. I've been entertaining people all day, like... You're just a code monkey. I said just a code monkey. It makes stupid amounts of money. He makes stupid amounts of money as a code monkey, but can't decorate his house to save his life. It's funny, actually. It's quite amusing. That first retail job I did, I was the head of the furniture department at a Home Goods because I'm good at home decorating, I guess. It just makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because the artist bit is a bit of talent. I don't know. A bit of a sense I have. I know how colors work, I guess. Alright, so, as, Shade's gonna dry in a second. I'm grabbing dry Tyrant Skull here, and we're gonna do some dry brushing. Just wiping off the excess onto the napkin. I feel like a lot of my brushes are getting too soft lately. I don't... Yes! Oh, that's an anonymous bit. Thank you, anonymous person, for the bits. I appreciate it. And yes, we shall definitely purge something in flame. I'm gonna purge whatever it is my dinner is gonna be in flame. These are actually very nice looking, very nice looking purity seals so far. Had to click on the Oh, thank you for the bits, Diablo. Oh, you mean you had to click it, or just to make sure there isn't like a bug going on? These are actually very nicely coming out purity seals. Jeez. No compulsion. I don't know what you mean by that. If you feel like giving out more money, though, I have a tip button below the stream, and I also have merch that I designed myself. Also, I am a shameless shill. I will absolutely push my stuff. I don't know if you realize this. I like money, and I don't have much of it. I'm kind of what you call a starving artist. We're using Praxetti White for our next thing. AKA, I wanted to do Anon. Oh, okay. Just wanted to mess with me. That's fine if you just wanted to mess with me. We already got people like that. Former. Not a former guy, his name is Former. And he's like the channel troll. No, spare money against I get paid again. I mean, totally. I'm not. No compulsion from here either. I'm just throwing it out there. I have a few bits left. I appreciate that. No, I never want to feel like people have to pay for anything that's just part of the stream. I'm working on figuring out stuff people do have to pay for. It hasn't come to me yet. I know there's something. There's gotta be something I can offer on Patreon. But I haven't gotten there yet. Everyone keeps giving me, like, the obvious advice, and I'm like, that's all stuff you just get by being in my stream. Like, being taught how to paint. I already make tutorials I use as marketing. I mean, I suppose I could put the tutorials behind a paywall, but I mean, those aren't tutorials you can't get elsewhere for free on YouTube, so I mean, that doesn't make any sense. You're already talking to me, right now, or in my Discord, for when I'm not on stream. The merch stuff is merch. You're already buying it. And I'm not big enough to think that having merch available early would mean anything. One-on-one review and advice for current work in progress. Well, you kind of get that through this anyway, because I showcase stuff on like from the Discord straight to the stream. I mean, I've been sitting here with you for how long now? Just, you know, giving you full cross-the-board hobby advice on every level. Right, and that's what I like doing. I like doing this. I don't want to put this behind a paywall. I mean, I would like the money, but I won't actually be really doing it that often if I do it that way. I mean, okay, if I become so big that my chat is always too busy to do this kind of thing, then that would make sense. When I'm at like 700 followers, 40 subscribers, I have like 15 people in chat actively all the time, and I can't give, there's no version of me ever on stream giving this kind of attention again, then yes. Then it would make sense for me to put that on Patreon, because then it is kind of required for me to like put aside time to one-on-one with you. That's one thing. Then we can talk about that. Right now, just being in this. Oh, thank you for the thank you for follower. Big dumb ugly loser stupid. Wow. $20 paint basic level mini. They pay shipping. That is. Well, no. So, like, I already have commissions. This is a commission. I have a commission website. Yeah, I know, what a name, right? Thank you for the follow, and welcome to the stream, man. I actually don't do any commissions under $100 because the sheer amount of hassle of negotiating what the thing's gonna look like, the dealing with delivering it to the post office, packaging it, everything else, it's not worth my time to paint anything that's under $100. It just isn't. And they already pay shipping. Like, that's already part of my payment policy. And why I wouldn't put that on Patreon is because that's a thing I do the work for once, and I get paid for it once. Patreon's for stuff you can scale up. So you're doing one thing once, and then a bunch of people get something out of that. That's the best way to do Patreon, is scalable stuff. So, like, you know, when I get... yeah, like, the teaching, I guess, is one thing. That's a obvious thing that, yeah, it is one time. But it's something that I could probably charge, I don't know, 20 to 50 bucks on, depending on my reputation level at the time, I guess. The best level stuff is probably... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to figure out how to do something that's scalable like this. $10 pre-made level 5 D&D character. That entails me being good at making D&D characters. I am good at writing. Actually, that's... Hold on. I'm not good at snapping my finger on that hand. I'm right-handed. I do have something. It's Warhammer related. I could start designing... This is going to be way after the White Scars, and then this is down the road. I could start designing my own paint schemes with full recipes and videos on how to paint them. And having those behind a paywall, because you get a whole archive of them, because I just keep making more of them. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I appreciate you trying to help me, Diablo. This is definitely a conversation I appreciate having. I could even have like names and lore behind those, so it's just a bunch. You just get a whole bunch of custom chapters. I don't know how many people actually want that, but it is something I could easily do. What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. If I started writing a blog again, I could put that behind a Patreon thing, maybe. People care enough at that point. Let's get some black on this so I can do some scripting. Right, shorts. Yeah, basically, fandom lore for that chapter. That's easy for me. I can write that stuff in my sleep. This is actually, I mentioned it a couple times on stream. I can't go into detail about it, but I can say this much. I've actually picked up very recently. This has got a lot of medium in it. That's kind of going to work in my favor, actually. I just have to stir it enough. Mix it enough. There's no money in this yet. There won't be for a while. But something for my off time, which I really got to start putting some time into it, actually. I've been asked to be the lead writer on a small indie production sci-fi show. That's about all I can give on details on it. It's sci-fi, it's small production, but we have a producer and a general idea of like early monetization of it. But we have to get to the point where we at least know what we're doing and be able to make a trailer for it. Then throw it up on Kickstarter. See if people like it then. Like, this is Captain Timmy. He's basically Rainbow Bunny. Phone dying, gotta go to bed. Fair enough. It was great hanging out with you, Diablo. Hope to see you in future streams. I gotta script this so I can get off and like put my head together. I don't know if that tutorial is gonna be done today. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow morning. I should have plenty of time. Alright, cool. Nice meeting everyone, and look forward to the future streams. Yeah, I'll be streaming tomorrow, and definitely Friday. I am not certain about Thursday currently, but definitely tomorrow and Friday I will be streaming more. So, I will catch you around, my friend. This is very lazy scripting right now. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think my head's just dying. Get actual... It's also like this black is being kind of weird because it was so medium heavy. There we go. Let's do actual like stuff here. Let's mix it up, not just lines across. It's lazy, I think. Especially because White Scar is supposed to be like still fairly tribal. I will say I do enjoy drawing sigils. Like arcane type sigils. I do enjoy that. Oh, I've been out of frame for a while. A little bit more on that bottom bit there. I need to sharpen that up. Hey Venom, you still with me? I snagged a jump pack chaplain. He's pre-painted, not great, so I'm gonna see if I can clean him up. 12 bucks. Oh, that's a sweet deal, honestly. It's pretty baller. Based, even. Alright, that bomb one looks kind of messy, but it'll be fine. At a glance, it looks good. I think it's, yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Alright. I'm gonna call this done. It will be probably on the model by the beginning of next stream. Because I'm probably going to work on it more tonight after I eat, because I don't think I can, well, no, I probably can, I don't know. I'm definitely going to get the Bones tutorial done before tomorrow's stream. That's going to happen. Somehow. I'm going to try to force myself through it after I eat and then see how it goes from there, but... Oh, it's raining. No wonder I'm feeling especially tired. Jeez. Alright. Let's do a raid, why not? Let's raid somebody. Probably my cousin. There's one other person I was considering. Are they online? I haven't seen them online in a little while. Is Snow on? Snow is not on. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, we'll go raid my cousin. Because he's funny, and you should follow him. He's also an absolute monster in Fortnite, like... Good lord. Just gotta get through the pre-roll. Oh, it gave me 2 ads. The monsters. Alright. Yeah. Pretty good stream today, though. Actually, with, yeah, it was a chat-filled day, yeah. And actually, because I went long in this one, I made it to 6 hours. Because I only streamed 2.5 hours in the first one. But 3.5 here, so hit my 6. Pretty good. Check my trading bot. It's still being kind of wonky, because I followed other people's advice instead of my own. Because I'm an idiot. A fool. It's fine, it's all good. I'll fix it tomorrow. Not a big deal. I may have to eat like a couple bucks worth of losses. Literally a couple bucks, so it's whatever. Fool of a took! I think it's with 2 O's, actually. But anyway, alright, let's go raid Lieutenant Bam 401 underscore TTV. Because he had to make a difficult name. Yeah. Fool of a took! I gotta re-go through the sound alerts. I feel like I wanna get some specific sources in there if I can find them. Hellsing Ultimate Bridge for one, some Lord of the Rings, some Avatar: The Last Airbender, besides the water thing. Alright, let's go raid. I will see, hopefully, a good number of you tomorrow. Let's hope it actually brings everyone over this time, huh? And go.